They should. Why? They should be able to hear you all.
Hello.
Testing. Hello.
Yes, hello. Yeah, I have my headphones set up properly. Cool beans. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday We Try Role-Playing Games. We are here. I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Ray, aka Keyink, and Aqua Muse, aka Aqua Sylph, aka Aqua, my lovely co-host, and our lovely guest here today, Skeletalpha, talking about his Mario TTRPG stuff, which I'm excited to dig into. But Ray, you had a question about consumables.
Oh, yes. I'm just going to start this off real quick.
Consumption.
So, in consumables in tabletop RPGs are typically balanced very differently in several games, but in terms of just the most popular game being D&D, just based off of this, in D&D, it's typically an action or a bonus action to use a consumable item. But how do you all feel about consumables being free actions? Because I've seen that being a homebrew rule.
This is something that
in,
I actually...
20s Brendan's game.
Yeah, Brennan does that a lot. Brennan does it very specifically with items, and I also use it very specifically. For me, especially in D&D, but in other games, one of my favorite ways to introduce consumables is consumables as part of components. So giving consumable components for spells, for example, being okay, yeah, you have your normal spell, and you have a certain number of these components, and when you use one of those components, it buffs the spell in some way. Yes. So you're using it as a part of the spell. It's a free action to use because it's part of the spell, but you're still using the consumable.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I've seen those before. I forget what homebrew supplement I have for 5th and Pathfinder.
I use it in my... I literally just introduced it last session in my Cazador's game, where Saris was looking out for specialized seeds and got some, where they have one usage of a seed that whenever they cast a spell using that as a component, they can add a meta magic to it.
Oh, sick. Yeah. I remember cool. in one of my supplements that I have saved for my West March that it's a arcane consumable that's like a meteorite or something like that, but when you cast it, it makes the range of the spell a mile.
Oh my god. Also, thank you for the follows, Starlight.
And there's several others too that just buff things that it's pretty great. I know there was a low level one for cantrips and the where if it makes it so you use it during the cast, and it will add half damage if they succeed the save on a cantrip.
That's pretty cool.
For that one cast.
Yeah, I love that kind. I love that kind of single cast, single use stuff. I think it can be done very well and used very effectively, and it's an interesting way to shake up the game a little bit, give your players some extra powerful stuff without worrying about it throwing off the balance of your game in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Big fan of consumables, but yeah.
I really do think that adding consumables is at least free action once per turn, especially for healing potions and stuff like that.
I mean, there is a precedent for that. I am always hesitant to add potions to the use of you can use it once as a free action, because there's the interact with objects action in 5e, right? And the interact with options action says drink a mug, or drink a quick sip of a mug, or shut a door, etc., etc.
Right.
Part of the reason I'm always hesitant to add potions to it is because the thief subclass specifically says you can use an item as a bonus action with the specification of potions. So for me, I've always been that takes away this cool ability that this has. Fast Hands is a really cool ability, but only if the DM actually lets that be the ability that they have and doesn't give that to everyone. So the way I kind of handle that is you can use potions, healing potions, etc. on yourself really quickly as a bonus action, but in general it's an action to use. And then there are specific consumable items. One of my favorites are healing rock candy that I have in a lot of my games that you can eat one on a turn as a free action.
Well, the reason why I say this is because, like, in terms of like applying stronger foes against weaker teams, is if you do apply that kind of like free health potion usage, it just gives the players more health, so they can fight against tougher foes and learn other mechanics. It kind of like bleeds into that.
Yeah,
So it's like
I see what you mean
it's
about the
still
wanting to have more HP, but at that point, I'm always just like, if you want to throw harder things at them, there are other ways to do that. Temp HP is a really good way to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, funny enough, I have considered this for like the Paper Mario game here, because like some items are like obviously rebalanced. Weapon items and like some foods are bonus actions to use. But I have considered the thief in this, and for like these items that are like bonus actions and the like, for fast hands, I've basically rewritten it to say it like upgrades the action it takes to use it. So if it's an action, it's a bonus action. If it's a bonus action, it's free once a turn.
That's pretty cool. That's a good way
Yeah.
to edit the thief to kind of adjust for that in the opposite direction.
I like that. Hell yeah.
Because there are quite a few items in my game that are bonus actions to use, and I didn't want that to feel like, you know, it kind of got written off and the subclass feature becomes subpar.
No,
So
that
I wanted to
that
make
makes a
sure
lot
it
of
felt
sense.
wrong.
I mean, it is the reason why in the opposite end I include like healing rock candy or like other equivalent things that are free actions that are separate from potions.
Mhm.
But like I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm also a big like healing potions. I've always made a bonus action. I've like ever since I started running 5th edition, I've always been like, oh yeah, healing potions bonus action.
Big
Even
same.
though rules is written, they are an action to use any potion. It just it's the same kind of logic that you were saying, right? It like allows the player to have more effective HP,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty nice. I think the free action usage, it's the kind of thing that like it should be more limited, right? Like it shouldn't have the same level of just constant usage that a bonus action should.
Right.
But the reason why we're talking about 5e here for anyone listening is because the Paper Mario TTRPG that Skelly is running is technically in 5th edition. We're going to be talking about a lot of the differences, a lot of the changes made to 5th edition, especially when homebrewing and like running homebrew settings. So we are still going to be talking about a lot of homebrew creation, a lot of the like side sections of 5e. We're not going to be focused on 5e. We're going to be focused on editing 5e and what specific things that Skelly is changing, adding, and adjusting. So Skelly, if you want to take it away.
All right. Well, I know I asked this pre-stream, but what is y'all's current like knowledge level on the Paper Mario games, or just Mario
0.
in general?
I have
Okay.
played one Mario game. It was the Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo DS.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't
Well
get to
then.
play Paper Mario myself, but I have seen some of it played.
Okay.
So just unput the familiarity.
Well, alrighty then. So, in that case, since at least 2 out of 3 are obviously very new to like the Mario universe and the like, what I will do is, basically, Paper Mario is an RPG series that's usually shows up on various consoles and the like, and has several iterations like since the Nintendo 64. Most of the time, it's sports turn-based combat of sorts. You know, you have health, you have like your combat gimmicks and the like. It's all very charming in a paper-esque or like similar material style. And obviously, it feels like almost like a continuation of Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo. In its own way, just, you know, completely like rearranged, but it kind of follows its heart in that direction. I've managed to pull together all the parts that I love about Mario and kind of like convert it into a system to work with. I know I've mentioned this off stream. I eventually want to make it its own system, but for now, I will use what I am most familiar with for DMing for like 2.5 years. But yeah, there's lots of obviously new races. There's tons of new items. I've added a lot of like different systems in to help like represent like the Paper Mario style.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be happy to like break those down. I assume everybody present has like some knowledge of 5e, so I could like point out like things that have changed and the like. Okay. So I guess
Unfortunately, I am extremely familiar with 5e.
Yeah, a lot of people run it. I am very appreciative that people
myself
find it
is one of
fun.
them. Like, you know, I have run it significantly more than I've played it.
Okay. Let's see. I guess the best place to spring off would be like the main gimmicks that are kind of like in here. In the Paper Mario games, typically they have either like a sticker or a badge system that are kind of like squared and attached in. They give Mario different attacks. They change his stats. They give him special passive abilities, different like overworld abilities and the like. And this has been entirely ported into 5th edition. Whereas magic items still exist and the like. Attunement does not exist for normal magic items anymore. They are they're probably about, I would say normal magic items are about as rare as they are in like your typical like pre-written campaign in 5th now. However, badges are your typical go-to magic item. And much like in the game, you have like a cap of badges you can equip via badge points. These are in the game, and they're based on twice your proficiency modifier. There are ways to raise them outside of that, of course. But all badges have some sort of equip cost. Let's see. Here we go. We'll use ye old Power Smash as an example. And of course, anybody can equip any badge as long as you have the badge points for it. You do not have, there's no requirements to it. It's just cost, and can you afford it with the other resource I will mention, flower points. The badges, there are 5 types of badges, and each one kind of like corresponds to a different thing. It is worth noting, I made sure that these badges work with literally everybody possible. As much as possible. For instance,
like some might
badge.
benefit someone a little bit more than another, but like it still is a bonus for anyone.
Absolutely. For instance, like jump badges, generally like lean into people that have like natural attacks, unarmed strikes, and the like. But literally anybody can use them. Hammer badges specifically work with weapon attacks. And new to my system would be rod badges, which look like the scepters from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Ooh.
I'll pop up this one as an example. The Glacial Rod. When you equip one of these, you learn a spell while it's equipped to you, and it costs flower points to cast. All of these badges and their abilities, where it says if you can replace it to make a weapon attack. If you can replace like an unarmed or a natural attack, you can cast a spell. These all count while it's equipped as class features or class known spells. It has like the highest amount of synergy possible, essentially. They all have inbuilt DCs or to hits if your stats are not complementary. For instance, Power Smash over here has a +4 to hit. If your proficiency plus whatever modifier used to attack is worse, you use the +4.
I just saw Twisted Toon Taylor in chat said, I don't know, Alpha. I feel like Paper Mario is a bit flat compared to typical Mario. What do you think about that?
Maybe they're right. Maybe it's a little two-dimensional. Maybe I need to...
Might need to add some depth to the game.
True. But these badges are meant to flavor out any character if they want to pursue something. If you want to be like some character that normally doesn't have spells, like a fighter or something that didn't take like an Eldritch Knight subclass or something, you can get you some rod badges. You can just start casting. It'll cost you flower points instead of like any other type of resource, but you can still do it. And I know I've mentioned flower points a bit. You have flower points.
Yeah, how abundant are flower points? Because I'm noticing it says FP cost 2, so I assume that they're relatively abundant.
So your base amount is relatively low, but there are badges and other ways to increase them. there are also a lot of food consumables that restore FP. I mean, a lot. They are like the secondary primary resource in.
And those you get once per turn as a free action you can use.
These badges do take up their typical action, like if you make a melee weapon.
Oh, I meant for the food. Sorry.
Oh, the food. Foods can be action, bonus action, or free action. They all have different consumable timings they take.
Got it.
It depends on actually the type of meal it is.
Makes sense. Whether or not you're shoving a bunch of cheese wheels in your throat.
Yeah. That's Skyrim in it.
Most of them do take actions, but usually if they take a bigger action, most of the time they usually give something like on top. I've made sure to go through and give everything what feels like a unique effect. So it won't always just be healing. But flower points are fairly abundant, as long as the player remains stocked up. This is a consumable heavy campaign, so I will make sure that you'll either have the coins or the consumables show up for everybody to play with. You just gotta, be a little smart about using them, but you'll have plenty to mess with. Also, hi Vaughn, what's up? There's another way besides consumables to heal FP. When you take a short rest, you can opt to roll your hit dice to restore FP instead of HP.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good way of balancing that, because we've talked about this a little bit before out of game, just among friends and stuff. But oh my God, hit dice do not get used enough. People do not run short. People do not run short rests, and people do not make the in between short rests. So this is something I've noticed is people will either make the in between short rests nothing, or you have to do a full rest. And there should be a little bit of a balance in there where it's okay, after a pretty stressful combat, you should be able to take a second to rest, or and that is the key for, at least for me, for these kinds of combats, is balancing around, is no fight except for major fights should be an active threat to the party at all times. It's them using resources, it's them whittling it down.
Mm-hmm. It's almost supposed to be attrition in the player's favor. Because
they can spend short rests and they can take space and yeah.
But I did want to give another use to hit dice, so you can use them to restore FP, which most of the time one dice roll should do it, because it's only proficiency plus your level rounded up. It's not a lot base, but there are badges that increase your maximum, I'll pull up those. There's a utility badges in the game that increase base stats. This includes things like HP, FP, your armor class, etc. and so forth. If there's a stat in 5th edition, you can raise it with a badge.
Are there a limit to how many badges you can have at a time?
That's what the badge points are for.
You
can trade out badges on a short or long rest.
It really does sound like you're using 5e more as a rubric, a framework to place your own system in, which is a good move for what you're doing.
It absolutely is. It was the high familiarity that is the reasoning why I didn't just jump into a straight new T.R.P.G system, because I could slowly whittle at ideas, forming my own into it from 5e. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to roll things a little bit different this direction, so I'll make notes for later whenever I figure out what kind of dice system, if I'm going to do a dice pool, if I'm going to do symbol cancellation, 2d20, 3d6, so on and so forth. But this is a great example of a utility badge. It passively increases your maximum FP by 2. And I know the players and others have noticed there's V1 next to its name. A lot of badges in the Paper Mario game kind of had different named better versions. But in this, there are ways to upgrade badges using star shards, which is another item from the Paper Mario games.
Lots of consumables, yeah. I can definitely see what you're saying now.
Yeah, and you would use these and obviously some coin and stuff to like craft an upgrade. Most badges have V1 through V5, and their effects get better, but their badge point cost also increases. So you have to kind of like balance that. And obviously, like the weapon attack badges and the like, they get stronger. They may get extra effects. Rod badges actually give a greater selection of spells as well to their effects. And later versions can even let you cast like first level and higher spells too for FP without a spell slot. They have limited casts you can do with it, but they do allow you the ability to do so.
Makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering because I saw on one of the rod badges that it was like cast a cantrip for flower points, and I was like, yeah, that is mostly useful for someone who doesn't have spell casting. But if you can upgrade them and they get better as they go along, that's a very cool way of handling that.
Here's an upgrade, for example, like here's the base Celestial Rod. It gives you the Guidance cantrip, and it costs 1 FP to cast as an action. It has an upgrade, which is the Celestial Star Rod, which gives you the Guidance cantrip, and you can spend 2 FP to cast Healing Word as a bonus action, and you can do it twice a long rest. And obviously,
are you keeping this game relatively low level, like low power, low level?
For now, I will proceed to begin doing higher and higher levels.
I mean, what we were talking, and I don't think that's a bad thing. We were talking about how it is extremely possible, and I think very fitting for Paper Mario to do lower numbers and lower levels and still have higher power games, as long as you just scale the themes and thematics and like flavor of the world around you to fit. So, like, you can be level 2 fighting a goblin, but if you're flavoring the goblin to be, you know, the god of wine or whatever, then yeah, you know, that goblin is really powerful in that lore setting.
Yes, there are absolutely, like, abilities to, like, power scale someone up real quick through a lot of the consumables are very strong, actually. A lot of them have very, like, extensive effects, and their descriptions go on a little long. I need to lower them and, like, fine-tune the wording on some of them.
Consumables also definitely allow you the chance to, like, overcome a much stronger enemy, which I think you're leaning into a lot.
Yes. Like, I could show you some of the items. Like, obviously, there's a couple different classifications of items that we have. There's obviously your power-ups, which you obviously know. Like, your Fire Flower, your Tanuki Tail, your Cape Feather. And then there are weapon items, which are like the one-time consumables you'll see in Paper Mario that like doesn't affect, like usually an attack of some kind. There's a lot of those, and I've been pulling from all Mario games for them. I can give some examples because I know for a while I actually kind of like banged my head on the wall. It's like, how am I going to do power-ups? Because power-ups last a long time until Mario gets hit, right? So I thought about it. I was like, I want them to last an hour. But what's the key bit that he loses it? And then it hit me kind of like how I put on the thing. You lose it early if you take a critical hit.
Okay.
I can see that. I see that making a lot of sense. I would assume also if you go down.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You would. I would say if you drop to 0, you would lose it as well. But here's an example of one of the power-ups, which is a Fire Flower. It does a couple things as long as you have it. It lasts an hour or until you take a critical hit, whichever comes first. It increases your spellcasting / magic DC and magic attack rolls, or from your badges by +1 as long as you're in this form. You get a special bonus action fire mode attack you can do that has 60-foot range, and it can be used anytime you would make a normal spell attack. You can also use it like if you have extra attack and the like. It can replace any attack, essentially.
Also, I just have to do a medical thing real quick. I'm leaving stream running, so
Okay.
keep going, and I'm listening. I have a headset on. I'll just BRB.
You got it. Additionally, you can either dish out or take a little bit less fire damage from other sources other than the Fire Flower. Like if you have Firebolt, you could choose to deal an extra d6 of damage with it, as an example.
Okay.
And I have other ones as well, like one of my personal favorites is the Hammer Suit, which is specifically a defensive one from Mario 3. It increases your armor class while you have it. You also get bonus action spectral hammers that you can use It gives the very potent ability that allows you to use any hammer badge at the range of the spectral hammers, because hammer badges are typically at melee range only. So your ability to perform a hammer badge at range is very strong. Especially like ones like Power Smash or Quake Hammer, which could do an area effect. And of course, the last effect is very unique to the hammer suit, in that if a critical hit would end the hammer suit ends early, but the critical hit damage is entirely negated. It protects you on the way out.
Oh, okay.
Making it's one of the stronger power-ups available. Like, if you name a power-up from a Mario game, I probably have it programmed in here. Like, I've got the cat suit, the super acorn, the power wing, the shell suit from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I have so many of them programmed in.
Hell yeah.
I even managed to squeeze in getting the gold flower in from the DS one. But that's generally how power-ups work. Now, weapons are like your usable items. You would use these in the midst of combat for a single-use effect. Let's get some examples up. Like the Dizzy Dial is a very common one early game in Paper Mario. What else is a good one? Let's see. A POW block. A lot of people know what a POW block is.
Yes. Does that provide prone or something like that?
It does if they fail. The also fun part is about the POW block is it is not friendly fire. It only hurts enemies in a radius around you.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, they have to make a DC 12 strength save throw or take 2d12 thunder damage and fall prone.
Gotcha.
So it's very useful. There's also the upgraded version you can cook from Super Paper Mario called Megaton Dinner. Which, you don't eat that one, you do use it, but it's a much more potent POW block. And I'll get into the cooking system in the near future for certain. Because I think that's my favorite part of the homebrew, is the entire cooking system.
That's funny.
And obviously, Dizzy Dial mentions the Dizzy condition. I have added a bunch of extra conditions to this that are straight out of the game. And I believe I have those here. New status conditions. Here we go. I have Dizzy, Grounded, Mini, Soft, and Frozen so far added.
Return.
I'm considering adding a mute option as well, because there is a mute in Thousand Year Door, if I recall. Or it's called block, but it's essentially mute.
Gotcha.
I know people... I read it out on the stream on Thursday, but Dizzy is basically kind of like an alternate poison. Slightly funner, in that it has disadvantage on skill checks, but attack rolls have a 1 in 4 chance of missing regardless of what's rolled. And this is a status ailment both players can inflict on enemies and vice versa. As a matter of fact, I believe one of the players has a badge that lets them do that at the start.
Let's see.
Grounded is a fun one because there are a lot of flying enemies in Mario games. Grounded, if you're inflicted with that status ailment, you cannot do a jump attack, a jump badge, or a benefit from any type of flying speed. If you are flying when inflicted with Grounded, you immediately fall to the ground and take any kind of fall damage that would be appropriate.
Right.
And there's some jump badges that actually inflict Grounded, particularly. I know further upgraded versions of Lofty Jump, which give you a very high jump. If it hits an enemy, it will ground them. Let me think. What else in like this sector should I go over? Let's see. Obviously, there's Mini, Soft, and there's Frozen, which I know I had a lot of fun like figuring out how am I going to do a freezer enemy, because that comes up a lot in Mario games.
Causes like restraint, but only like to or 0 speed, not restraint.
funny enough, it doesn't particularly cause restrain, but it does take you out of line of sight of everybody on the outside, and you can only target yourself or the ice with things. You're effectively kind of isolated, literally, pun intended.
Oh, okay.
The ice has health equal to the cold damage that was attached with it, and it can be broken from the inside or the outside. Vulnerable to bludgeoning and fire. Cold damage that hits it actually gives it more health.
You could try to look at the petrified condition and see if a tweaked frozen would work with the petrified.
Twisted Toon Taylor and I had the same idea. He's in there, and we're out here, and he's the sheriff.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, the fun idea was isolating the player from being able to be in line of sight of abilities and stuff. Well, it does also save them,
but still
from
not
enemy
limiting their damage, right? You don't take away their turn. It's not just paralysis in 5e.
Yeah,
which is a big frustration.
Yeah, that was the one thing I wanted to avoid, because paralysis does exist in here. There are
Mhm.
some enemies.
I mean,
paralysis.
I edit paralysis and stunned in my home games. For me, paralysis applies the slowed effect to the target that is paralyzed, slowed as per the spell. So slowed is actually an AoE paralyzed, which kind of makes sense because it's a level above hold person, and it's just this big AoE. But yeah, that is what paralyzed does, and slowed is just disadvantage on everything and half speed. Or sorry, no, slowed stunned is just disadvantage on everything and half speed.
Funny enough, the races in this game are a good bit stronger than they are in typical 5e. They usually have some pretty potent abilities. Boos in this game actually have a lick natural attack that will paralyze for a turn.
That's pretty nasty.
And one of the players is a boo.
I've told you about this a long time ago. I had a friend who really wanted to do the Paper Mario TTRPG, and I was one of the only players who actually made a character for it. So I've had a Boo Barbarian sitting around for ages.
A Boobarian? Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I was like, yes, I want to do it. I want to fly around and hit people with big axe.
Well, perhaps once I finish up this game, I might have to come, knocking on your door.
And go, hello. No pressure, of course. I just want to talk about my Boobarian since boos were brought up.
Oh, absolutely. That rules.
Hell yeah.
They can do it proficiency times at long rests. It doesn't do damage, but if the target fails a DC con save against it, they will be paralyzed for one turn.
Yeah, because that's the one thing about paralyzed that for a lot of... Well, actually, this is a problem with the DC system in 5e more than it is for the paralyze effect.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that the statuses don't have a natural declining sense. It purely relies on luck to get paralysis off. And I think that is a core issue with a lot of the status effects in 5e and how they're handled. I think all statuses should have a timer of some sort, just so a player doesn't feel like they're trapped forever just because they're having a bad night.
Yes, I definitely try to not hit players with a save ins effect or something, because enemies in this game can and will have some of these consumables that do stuff, and thankfully, because a lot of them are save ins 1 minute, like in 5e, most items have a max duration of 3 rounds of their effects. So if you get messed up and you fail all 3 saves, you're out at the third round.
Yeah.
Because man, getting hit with paralysis save ins for a minute and you just roll shit for the night. You just kind of
reminiscing back to the old 3-5 days where you could get hit with 1d10 minutes of paralysis in combat.
Oh god.
And I was just I remember reading that for the first time going, nope, that's 1d10 rounds.
Yeah,
exactly. It's just it's we're trying to enjoy a game. I understand some people really like that grind set. It's just but we also don't have that much time in the day, so it's just no, let's not do that.
Absolutely. Dizzy Dial over here, you can see it says 3 rounds, repeat saves, and or it ends in 3 rounds. The one that doesn't have a duration is Frozen, and that's because it has health. You can either do an athletics check to bust out equal to its health as the DC, or you could just attack it from the inside. If say, and you could do a combination of the two. Say one turn you hit it to lower its health, and then you do an athletics check to break out. You absolutely can, and the DC changes.
And that makes sense when in terms of status effects, because it's just like, yeah, it has a health pool. Like, there is a way for you to escape still. It's just like, it just requires a different thing.
Yes. I when making this, I wanted to get around all my foibles and stuff so players could keep having fun as much as possible. Because players will also be able to dole out these, like, conditions and the like very rapidly. So, you know, it makes it fun for both sides. What else is there? Because I know, like, we talked about, obviously, flower points and stuff. And we actually talked about, like, food and things, because so far I've only showed you, like, badges and, like, usable items, like power-ups, your weapons, your throwable shells, items from
what
as far
did the
back
shells
as,
do?
I'll be happy to show you. Currently, I don't have programmed in this. The spiny blue shell is present from Mario Kart. I don't have it in this version, but it is essentially like a homing, like, it's like a homing fireball is essentially what it is. If you saw a creature at any point during the combat, you could declare it, you could throw it, and it's gonna chase that thing down if it's not behind total cover, like a full-on enclosed room or something.
Oh my god, Mega Man Xander absolutely pegged what my Boo Barbarian was, because I didn't want to, like, spoil it. But they were gonna talk like this, and they were gonna be a bit of a mafioso type.
Hell
and
yeah.
so they were gonna be an ancestral guardian, so they summoned their Boo Mooks to, like, protect their allies and stuff.
That's fantastic. I know our current Boo character, like, they have, like, a lot of, like, light-based features and the stuff, and when they do, like, Boos appear with spotlights.
That's so good.
So I have two shells. We have Courage Shell from Paper Mario 64, which you use it, and for 1 hour you gain a +3 bonus to your armor class. It's one of the stronger usable items. It's kind of like Shield of Faith without concentration, a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, of course, like your typical shell, which is a Power Shell, which is a... Oh, hang on, let me move it over here. It is a used as an action DC 13 dex save. You throw it in a 60-foot line, and it keeps going forward. You take 2d10 bludgeoning damage if you fail, or half as much on a success. I will be calculating the rebound trajectory of this thing. It does bounce off walls, kind of like old, like, first and second edition lightning bolt.
Oh, okay.
And it absolutely, like, you can hit things multiple times if you actually, like, set it up correctly. It is a very fun item to use. And Koopas, the races actually have a limited version of this. They have a 30-foot line they can do with their shell. You know, they move along with it without provoking attacks of opportunity. It can replace an attack much like Dragonborn Breath Weapon. And it has scaling damage. Well, I should take that back. I think only normal Koopas and Paratroopas get it. Dry Bones and King's Blood Koopas do not. And of course, you're asking what the hell is a King's Blood Koopa? It's what Bowser is. I just gave it a name. And I do allow those kinds of Koopas to be played, and they are large.
That is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I've always been a proponent of allowing large characters because I think it presents a lot of fun situations to handle.
I've been the same way. I could not convince my DM to let me play a half dragon as a large character.
It presents so many fun opportunities. Like, you're going through a dungeon, right? And then you reach, like, a door that you can't really fit through. It's even small for, like, medium creatures. So you got to figure out, like, well, how they gonna get in there? That's an important room.
That's a really interesting question. Really quickly, that is a really just quick question from Twisted Toon Taylor. If a player set things up right and we're able to keep the combo going, could a player use a Koopa Shell item to do the one-up trick?
I've had a group already do this, and I have no problems with someone. What was it? Someone set up a reaction. They said they wanted to hit the shell when it came to them, and like I was like, all right, make an attack roll. Can you beat like the DC on the deck save? And they beat it out. And I'm like, sure, they can absolutely be the ricochet point instead of a wall. Like, I love improv shit like that. Please, players, do improv shit. I will work with you.
I'm always a big fan of a player being like, hey, can I try this thing? Can I do this thing? Or like, oh, does this work this way? It's like, no, but it could in this circumstance.
Yes. Please, players, be my yes and. But yeah, the player like way beat the DC with their weapon attack as a held action, and they became the ricochet point. And I was like, all right, choose the direction it's gonna fly now.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, all right, if you fail this, you're gonna take a hit from it. And they were like, I'll take that risk, and sure enough, it paid off.
Hell yeah.
Like, I love that stuff above everything. Like, improv is my life. Even if players like try to use their skills in unusual ways that may use a different stat, I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'll absolutely let you do an athletics based off wisdom because you were trying to think of like how they like built their muscles better.
Makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, if like you just name an item, I probably have it programmed in here. I even have some of the most powerful items in like the Mario games programmed in, and they're likewise extremely powerful. Like everybody knows what the hell a power star is.
Yes.
And sure enough, it has an extremely powerful effect that lasts. It only lasts 3 turns, but essentially, you gain resistance to all damage. If an attack if a non-extreme attack, I put quotes on that, would reduce you to 0 hit points, no, you're just staying at 1. You can't be reduced by 1 except by something immense. Additionally, you do an extra 2d12 radiant damage on all attacks you do.
Nice.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
It is substantially powerful. Yeah, for that 3 turns, unless like there's like, you know, a super boss attack like comes your way, like you're not falling down for those 3 turns. It just ain't happening.
So, quick question. What kind of races do you have in the system?
So, I started this based off of a one-shot a friend of mine, Yuki Goomba, made, called Paper Caper. And they had a couple races in, and it was a nice little one-shot romp. However, that activated a hyperfixation in me.
Nice.
And now we're here. I have all the races they included, plus a bunch I've made. And I always tell any player that comes into the game, if you want to play something from a Mario game, tell me, I will make you a race.
Well, could you name off the races that are there for the people watching, just in case they don't know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do allow, because I do think there is flavor there, I do allow humans, because it's, you know, your Mario, Luigi, Peach. We can go into the details of how you got there. There is race stat blocks for Yoshis. The 4 kinds of Koopas that you heard, Koopa, Paratroopa, Dry Bones, and King's Blood. There's Goombas and Paragoombas. There is Shy Guys, there are Boos, there are Yoshis, there are Bob-Ombs. Racial stat blocks we have that we've made unique. There are Flipsidians from Super Paper Mario. There are Nabbits from New Super Mario Brothers. There are... Let me think. We have 2 homebrew races as well. Chomplings, which is a little like Chain Chomp-like fella that Sprite Star made that I gave a stat block for. We also have a stat block for Wackas. We have a stat block for Shadow Sirens. We have a stat block for... Let me think, what else? Who else was considering something?
Now, I highly recommend having a puppet construct.
Oh, I'm so stupid. You're absolutely right. One of the characters is a Star Doll.
Okay,
in the game, which is Sprite Star's character Cosmo.
What's a Kremling again?
Oh, a Kremling. Because we do include, you're absolutely right, we do include stuff from Donkey Kong in this setting. Anything that's directly attached to Mario somehow, we absolutely have Donkey Kong races. I do have a Kremling race and a Kong race.
I mean, Mario first showed up in a Donkey Kong game.
He sure did.
But what's a Kremling? I can't remember the name of what it's.
It's like it's like a little like alligator dude. Little like
Okay,
gator
it's gator
lizard.
dudes. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one it was attached to.
Yeah, it's what K. Rool is, except K. Rool's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
We have those 2 races that have stat blocks as well.
Cuckoo.
He Gronks. All right, I gotta hit the button. There you go. But yes, we have those races. I'm trying to think if there's anything else off the top of my head. I know I have a couple people that were considering characters. I did make a Goomba variant because me and Zito were joking around because he wanted to be one of like the little like goon fellas that look vaguely like Goombas in Wario Land. That like have like a pirate bandana on their head.
Oh, okay.
Wario stuff is included, including like WarioWare.
Heck yeah.
Let's see, who else was thinking of something?
My Boobarian worked for Wario.
So, Wario.
I can tell you what the Give me a sec. I can tell you what the Boo race does if you give me just a second.
But yeah, I had mine actually legit work for Wario. I was like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. There is a Boo sub race I'm working on. That's the ghost from Luigi's Mansion.
Yes, good.
Funny enough, big surprise, they're really good at grappling.
Do you have pink Boos yet?
That's exactly what one of our players is, actually. They don't have a different stat block, but that's actually what they are. I'll be happy to, like, drop a picture.
Heck yeah.
Actually, I'll just pull them up on the dang thing. I can pull up their sheet. Look at them.
Oh, heck yeah. Yes. What a good design.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
Because Moth loves these types of characters. Despite how they appear, they are he, him. Because they're showmen and they want to look the part.
Valid. My boyfriend is a he, him with huge tits.
Hell yeah. Let's go. But yeah, of course they had to do a Sunshine Boo, and I'm like, you know what? Go for it.
The Sunshine Boos are cool. Oh, do you have Chucksters?
Chuckster? Okay, you say that. So one of the first stories I ran was a Splinter Dawn from Rogueport actually came over from to like during the Cosmic Star Festival attempt to do like extortion on tours and quote unquote protection. And their name was Dawn C, and sure enough, their name was Dawn Chuck. And sure enough, they grabbed people and they threw them as his major form of attack. He threw people into other people and did some major area attacks.
Nice.
But Piantas are absolutely, if someone wanted to be a Pianta, I will absolutely generate a stat block.
I assume
like, I will.
Not Koopa, I assume Yoshi's would be statted.
Yes, I do. We do have a stat block for Yoshi's. They are very fun. They kind of have like the centaur thing kind of going for them, where medium or smaller can ride on them and go the same speed and such. As well, they once a long rest, they generate I think it's like 2d4 Yoshi eggs, and they can throw these almost like mini explosives as a bonus action.
Oh, nice.
Place his hand on shoulder. We are gonna beat you to death.
Like, I have so much fun making stat blocks, and yes, some of the stat blocks are a little powerful, but
you've talked about that. You wanted to actually make them a little bit more powerful, and I think that is fine, especially when you're in the Paper Mario universe and like all of the creatures are so unique with their own unique abilities. It's very different than like the D&D setting, where if you make the like racial in quotes stat block too powerful, you get into some like weird meta contextual stuff with like human equality and that kind of thing. But in Mario, it's the fantastical and like really whimsical aspect of the setting. You would be remiss if you were not doing that, right?
Absolutely. I would be like, the players like should be able to feel unique and have fun. And I'll be expanding on the racial abilities once I convert this to like its own system. Like obviously, like people will probably squint. It's like Boos have a paralysis attack, Toads actually have a scream that can stun. Like, people look at you like, why are you giving races this strong of a condition? I'm like, it's power fantasy. We're going nuts here. And don't forget, like, if you fight an enemy with that, like, they can do it too. So, turnabout's fair play.
Plus, it adds to the whole one of the keys to balancing lower numbers or balancing what are called condensed systems. It is to give front load abilities. So one of my favorite condensed systems are apocalypse systems, and we've talked about it a lot on this channel. But I love Monster of the Week and any of these sort of apocalypse systems that have come out from that era. And we talked about, we actually covered Apocalypse on here as well. We haven't covered Monster of the Week, thanks to Aqua, as showed it off during one of their week. And one of the things that system starts out with is just heavy front-loading abilities into each of the characters. And each of the character stat blocks are very unique and like have a lot of intrinsic value and ability that in a similar way, because like that is how you balance lower power, lower number systems. Is like you have to give them powerful abilities.
And yeah, like Xander just said, in some cases we could just point at an already existing race and be like, okay, just do that. Like for instance, the Kremling, like I was like, all right, you could do like a Dragonborn-esque stat block, or we can use like Zito's on V Gatorman race. Like we could just use one of those.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of reflavor to fit in my 5e games very often. I'll be like, I'm happy to do homebrew, but I bet you 9 times out of 10 we can find a base thing that you can just reflavor.
Oh, absolutely. Like that we can easily find something and we can just like recontextualize it.
I'm a big fan of reflavoring.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
On a lot of the items for like some of the Paper Mario stuff brought in, I had to do that. Especially like all the food items. So Super Paper Mario is a bit of a departure from the others. I only include it because of it has like the best story out of all the Paper Mario games. It kind of leans back more into platformer. It has some like RPG elements to it, like usable items, kind of going about and like talking to people, like sussing out like puzzles and the like. But it is kind of a 2D side-scroller platformer. Most of its food items you can cook, unlike the other games, either healed you, they cured you of poison or status ailments, or they gave you high points multiplier. And I was like, these are all boring. I'm redoing every single one of these.
Yeah, again, to fit in with the like power and system that you're running. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's a really, really good idea.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing like what players happen to run into when they're making these items. Suppose the food items they have to go through the crafting system to get, which we can actually talk about that now.
I think I'm actually gonna say we will jump into that. I run 3-minute ads on my channel just so people don't get pre-rolls if anyone wants to stop in. And part of the reason why I run them on the hour is because you should get up and stretch every hour. So I'm gonna hit the 3-minute ad button. Use these 3 minutes to drink your stretch and stretch your water and do all those things. And we can keep chatting a little bit, but just like not the. I want to keep it away from the like really, really nitty gritty while everyone, gets some water. And I'm going to do the same. So stretch your legs and we will BRB.
Alrighty.
But thank you again, Skelly, for being on. This is a lot of fun. We love chatting about like homebrew shit on here. So this is right up the alley.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still trying to figure out like what direction I'll go as far as like making it like wholly my own. But,
I think there's a lot of stuff you can pull from both the Paper Mario TTRPG, but also 5e, right? Like, 5e did a lot of things right. People are moving away from 5e not because 5e is a bad system, but for 2 reasons. 2024 and Wizards. And, and Hasbro. Like, Wizards Hasbro is the second one. It's like, those are... people aren't leaving it because it's a horrible system.
I'll tell you what system I am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Daggerheart.
Same.
It's,
Haven't gotten a chance to play it, but I'm real excited.
Yeah.
I think Daggerheart would work really, really well with your Mario system. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I have not gotten to delve into it yet.
Sorry, I'm playing with a puppy.
Puppy.
I think she's upset because I think she's trying to beg for food,
Oh.
which is what I'm gonna get in the kitchen right now because I'm starving.
Yeah, go get something.
She's gonna be mad at me because I'm not gonna give her any of this.
Oh
I don't do
no.
that. I don't spoil the puppies.
Writing another Daggerheart thing, you'll be sure to invite someone other than Leah to it. Oh no, I have yet to try that. I've been meaning to. Yeah, I have been very much like eyeing it from afar. Like I want to see it.
So far, from what I've heard from others, because I haven't played it myself, I've just seen other people play it, and they found it very, very enjoyable.
Oh heck yeah!
So it's worth a shot. Because then, like, for instance, so Daggerheart has like an interesting class system where, like, a class has access to 2 sets of cards, and the 2 sets of abilities / cards are basically divvied out between the classes. So, like, for instance, I think Twilight and Bone, which is basically like physical damage and like shadow, like sneaky stuff, is like on the rogue, but then Twilight and Arcane are part of sorcerer because like
okay.
subtle spell, that kind of stuff. So like they share abilities, but they are used in a mix differently.
I wanted to do something with cards with this for sure. You do see like there is a card deck on screen, and I will talk about that in a minute. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I remember, and this is one of like the few times I'm going to give this edition credit, is I kind of liked the cards you could play in 4th edition.
Oh yes, like the 4th edition had a lot of really
Fortune
neat
cards?
stuff.
Yeah.
Because like what they had in 4E, like I just think they missed the mark, and I think that was like the saddest part, is that they missed the mark, and then so many people got so uppity about it, and so loyalty towards the previous system, that they didn't get a proper critique, because there are people who still play the 4E system. They didn't find anything wrong with it. It was how it played how they wanted it to play.
I did like some aspects of it, like the fortune cards, like were kind of a big inspiration for some stuff. I do like how, like, obviously each class like had a subclass, right?
Right.
But you also had like your theme subclass that attached to you. You also got like new like subclasses at like level 10 and at level 20, which were your Paragon Path and your Epic Destiny.
Yep.
Which were like high in customization that I really liked.
So it's like stuff like that was just like, that's really, really cool. And I think I want to bring some of that into my own system as well, back into my own system, where it's just like at certain levels you reach your own variation of a capstone. So like you're basically getting access to a whole new range of abilities that you can get access to. But you still have like your main core class that you're trained in.
For sure, for sure.
Let's see. But I've also been looking at Lancer and how they do level up systems as well. It's mostly the level up system that I've been trying to tackle the most, is because that's what makes people like either like want to level up or like really play around with certain tactics and creativity and stuff like that. Because 5e has a lot of really neat stuff that you can do, but some of their rules limit that creativity sometimes, and some of the subclasses also limit that creativity sometimes, especially at higher levels. But that's my own gripes.
Yeah, understandable, however.
Right, actually, that was one of the biggest tips I gave you before when we were first talking about your system was, like, adding a little bit more depth and mixing to the leveling up so that people could have variety and that sort of thing. And it's funny that you bring up 4th edition and then immediately Lancer, because Lancer is literally based on the 4th edition combat rule set.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, the mech system in 4th edition is literally based off of it. So it's very, like, there's a reason why those two kind of came up in conversation is because that the, like, modular leveling is absolutely a part of that, and it is a really, really cool way of doing it.
Yeah, because, like, I think one of the biggest gripes that people had with 4E is that it limited, like, storytelling moments. I think that was, like, one of the topics that were brought up, where it's just like, I shouldn't have to use a card to just attack a rope, basically. It's like, no, you shouldn't, and you shouldn't. Like, I don't know why your DM made it sound like you had to use an ability to just, like, cut a rope in an object situation.
Exactly. I mean, 4th edition was incredible mechanically, but it was built as if people were robots, which is why applying it to a mech system works so fucking well, because like, you're running mechs. But the thing that Lancer does that 4th edition really missed is it splits, like, completely separates roleplay. Oh, puppies. It completely separates roleplay and combat. So when you're playing, like, as your pilot and you're out of combat and you're, like, doing things as your pilot, it uses a different system. Like, in regards to, like, flavor and mechanics and what pilot actions are and that kind of thing. So there is this, like, distinct difference, so you don't have your pilot feeling like a mech themselves. And that is the big change that Lancer makes from 4E that really sets it apart as a system for me, because it is amazing for storytelling, as well as being an absolutely incredible and very engaging and fun combat system.
I like on the mechanic side of 4E, like, I definitely remember, like, my last major campaign in, like, 5th.
Never got to play 4E.
It was.
I got to run it a couple times. Never got to play it.
Ah, gotcha. I will say it was a good time overall. I definitely liked playing like a controller type, because you literally, like, move enemy pieces around the board, almost like you're, like, playing reverse chess. Like, I remember
it did feel like a chess game, very much so.
Because I played an Avenger / Wizard. And I remember distinctly all of my abilities would, like, push or slide opponents around. And I was, like, the guy that moved, like, people into, like, better advantageous positions. It was very fun to play. Maybe one of these days I'll try and go back and do another round of it just for old time's sake.
Well,
might be good for, like, a one-shot. It's great for one-shots, actually.
Oh, yeah. Layer assaults have been the biggest inspiration for me ever in my West March, because that's how I, like, throw super bosses at, like, the entirety of the West March. That they've got to, like, decide who's going to go up against this big fucker over here. And layer assaults were the inspiration for that.
Those were the two times I ran 4E were one-shots. I ran a League of Legends one-shot one time for some friends, where I let everyone make really high-level 4E characters, and they could and let them, like, make their favorite League character, and I ran a one-shot.
Oh, nice.
It was a fucking train wreck, Steris. Like, everyone got really, really upset. Everyone's really, really, like... There's like, no, that wouldn't happen to my character whenever anything bad happened to them, because everyone was, like, super, super committed to playing their character as the most badass hero of the story. It was a fucking mess. I had to end it, like, after the second combat, when one of the players resurrected an NPC that got killed and started combat with the other player. It was a whole... I was like, okay, we're going to pause it here, and I never went back to it.
I see.
That being said, we have the classic experience. We've ditched around, and if you would like to talk about your cooking system now, I think now would be the time.
Yeah.
Certainly. I guess before we get into that, I should mention one or two other things regarding, because I mentioned like jump attacks and badges, like jump badges and the like. Jumping and throwing are actually like completely overhauled in this game. Because this might be a personal foible, but nobody's really complained about it. But like, I hate having to do the calculations for like jumping how far, jumping how high, standing jump, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's a Mario game, everybody has a very specific jump arc. It's been revised to being like everybody has like 10 foot high, 10 foot far. And the reason is because like stuff like multiplies off of fives. But it plays into the fact that everybody has a natural jump attack. It's just a D4 at the start, but it does match any other natural attacks or any kind of unarmed strikes that you have. Like, it'll scale with it. But when you do a jump attack or use a jump badge, when you do that, you move that distance and do that jump. That doesn't include part of your movement for that turn. Like, you can move 30 feet and then jump 10 feet to jump on top of somebody.
So my favorite way to simplify jump in 5e of these systems, and there are like a bunch of different ways I've seen to do it. My favorite way for ease of use, like you can do the calculations, they are fine, but my favorite way for ease of use is you have a 10-foot long, 5-foot high, and you subtract or add 5 feet to that based on your strength modifier.
Oh, okay. I might have to look into that a little bit. That does sound like a good idea to like provide potential upgrades to it. There are obviously things in the game that upgrade people's jumps. Some jump badges do add on extra modifiers, like lofty jump, like gives you like an extra, I think 10 or 15 foot high you could jump. It's important, like in this game, whenever you jump, you don't start taking fall damage until you fall farther than how high you jumped. So like you don't like try to jump up to hit something up in the air and then you're forced to take fall damage, right? Just because everybody's made of paper is my argument.
They're in the Mario world. They should know how to jump.
Yep. It's a game about damn jump, man. People need to know how to jump. But the other thing is, along with combat, is I pulled something actually from Mario and Rabbids. Yes, sue me. I liked their party throwing system. So if you move next to a willing ally on your turn and you have movement to spare, you can throw someone as part of your movement. And you can throw someone as far as you have movement speed. You basically give them your movement speed on your turn. And it's fun because like you can obviously throw people at whatever angle and the like that your movement speed can be. So it gives you some verticality to moving around 3D terrain and the like. Additionally, there's another fun aspect of if you throw somebody on top of an enemy, they can use their reaction to do a jump attack. This also goes for enemies.
That's pretty cool.
Additionally, like if you have the FP, because at the time you would do a jump attack, you could do a jump badge too, like on the reaction. So you can land some cool hits that way and do some cool combos with players. Likewise, expect enemies to be throwing enemies at you.
Yeah. There is a game that I play every now and then. I introduced it to Leah a while ago. I don't know if they've played it anytime recently since A Tragic Discovery. It's called Last Spell.
It's a good
The Last
game.
Spell,
It broke my heart, but it's a good game.
It's a good game. I just forgot to put a clause on it, and that was my fault. But in that game, all dwarves can be thrown in that game. If you have a dwarf in your team,
that's excellent.
Awesome.
I love
they
that.
get the ability to be thrown for extra, movement, so they can go over enemies and all kinds of stuff. But their caveat is that they can't jump walls themselves, and they take a little bit of damage when they are thrown. Just like the tiniest bit, but it can stack up. And I think that is such a fun mechanic to add. Just to be like, I need that little bit of extra movement because it's a, how do you describe it, Leah? It's like, it's, uh,
Not sure what
it's
you're referring to with description.
like, it's not turn-based per se. It's like strategy. It's a strategy game.
Oh yeah, strategy versus tactics.
Yes.
I talk about strategy games are anything where it's like above the board. Chess is a strategy game. I would say a lot of TTRPGs are strategy games. Tactics are like you have to respond to the situation in real time. I think, funny enough, RTS games are more tactics based because real time strategy is tactics. That's like what the definition of tactics is.
A mixture between tower defense and strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, yeah. Good game. Fantastic game. Wonderful pixel art. Don't get attached to the characters.
No, don't. So here's my issue, and I will explain exactly what happened. If anyone who has been watching our Monday streams might have caught, we'll probably do it again in the future. One of my favorite casual games of all time is Wildermyth, and Skelly, if you have not, if you have not played Wildermyth and you're a fan of Paper Mario, like I will buy it for you. It's so good. It's such a good game, and it really embodies a lot of aspects of like Paper Mario TTRPG, plus also like D&D and other classic like fantasy RPG games. But one of the things about that game is that when you make a character, when you finish a campaign with them, you can save that character and you build their legend up over time. They can come back for other campaigns. I for some reason thought that was the same way for Last Spell, so I got attached to my heroes. And when I finished one and I couldn't play with them anymore, I was very sad.
Oh no.
I scoured the internet for like a mod that did what I wanted to do, and there was none. I would have to make it myself, and I don't know how to mod.
Oh no. Also, Xander has already seen like some of the stuff you could do. Yeah, you absolutely could take the dash action and just decide to throw someone 60 feet.
Hell yeah.
Because everybody's made of paper. So, throw them.
What's the whole like turning people into paper airplanes?
God, that would be pretty funny. It's a good explanation.
Well, that is an ability in one of the Paper Marios.
Yeah, it's ability in Thousand Year Door.
Mm-hmm.
So like you could, if you're trying to like push the envelope to
that was a good one.
To like make it your own system, you could try to play around with the idea of like adding paper forms of different varieties and stuff like that as abilities that someone learns.
Without a doubt. Like we push like the fact that like what people are made of on there. We also do a little bit of like fourth wall hijinks too. Like obviously like people that watched like yesterday's session obviously saw Kamek blow the initiative tracker off the screen.
Is everyone vulnerable to fire damage?
No, unfortunately not.
It was mostly a joke, but it would have been kind of funny.
Yeah. There is a running joke that everybody hates water, but but yeah, those were just like the two notes I wanted to cover before we move on to the crafting, since they were interrelated.
No, makes a lot of sense.
Major combat like mechanic changes.
Makes a lot of sense.
My favorite part is, in fact, the cooking system, because how many people have ran a campaign that have been like, I want to craft something, and then you're like, you see.
When I ran 3.5, I have 3 pages of notes on crafting from my 3.5 days, so I just refer back to that. But like I had to do that, so like I feel you.
The good news is well, for badges and the like, you obviously it's mostly just take it to somebody to do it if you have like the star shards and other materials, and they'll do it for you. When it comes to like making any of these power-ups, food items or whatnot, there is an entire like cooking and crafting system that I've penned. But essentially,
Ooh.
how it works is we already have a cooking system run off in Paper Mario. In all the first 3 games, there is an NPC you take things to, and they either cook a single item or they throw 2 items together, and it results in a different item. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll just use that. And so I have made a system for those that have like proficiency at cooks utensils to do just that. And essentially how it works is during a short rest, you can only cook a singular item. On a long rest, you can either cook 3 singular items or combine one like pairing of items. I may adjust this. I'm still like labbing out like how much I want people to be able to cook. I may adjust it. I know if you cook during a short rest, you cannot spend hit dice. I did make that specificity. So it's like you gotta weigh your option. There is
so the
however,
person
a
who's
bad
the least hurt makes a lot of sense for them to do the cooking.
Yeah, as long as they have proficiency in cooks utensils, at least for the first part. So obviously people can buy recipes from cooks or find recipes. And if they do that, they can use the item almost like a consumable and permanently learn that and master that recipe. If you master a recipe, you don't have to make any damn checks to make it. You just make it. You tell me, I'm going to slap the honey syrup and a mushroom together to make a honey shroom. I'm like, you got it. Not a damn check in sight. However, if you don't know a recipe and you want to try and learn and master a new one, you have to have proficiency in cooks utensils to do this. Any schmuck can like know a recipe, and I just give the thumbs up. You made it. You do not have to have proficiency in cooks utensils to do that. You could just learn it on your own, because anybody can like pick up like a pot and boil water, right?
Most anyone can follow instructions on a recipe. Doesn't mean it'll be the best meal you've ever had, but most anyone can do that.
Yeah, and so if you learn and master a recipe through a recipe card, like, you don't have to have proficiency, you could just make the item. But those with proficiency in cooks utensils can experiment. Everything has a recipe in, like, the tons of, like, food items that I have made. Like, I have, like, cooking items here sorted on the side. Like, y'all can see it. Like, I have just all the items, including, like, 30-something mushroom types. Various ingredients. And even some cooked items also combine together to make different cooked items. But how it works is, like, once you declare something, I will tell you if there's a food item that you can make with that item or combination of items. I have here how you calculate it. And I know this is a lot of jargon down here, but essentially, there's a combination of factors that determine the DC to succeed. It starts at 10. The amount of HP, FP, flower points, or temp HP it gives determines. If it gives buffs, it determines. If it's a weapon item instead, it has fixed DC, depending on how powerful it is. If it's minor or major, it is DC 14 or 18. And there are other factors that can also, like, lower the DC. You can find cookbook items that you can use at this while you're cooking to lower the DC by 5. And extra people that assist you give a -2 to the DC. But they also have to be proficient in cooks utensils. And they also cannot spend hit dice during the short rest if it's during a short rest. If you succeed this DC check, you make the item and you master a recipe. From then on, you don't have to make a check to make that item. If you fail, unfortunately, you do lose the items. However, you get a permanent +2 bonus, cumulative, to learn that recipe next time you try. And that cumulative bonus is stackable, so if you fail like 3 times, you have like a +6 next time. Because everybody hates it if you keep trying to make something and keep failing, you just kind of throw your hands up at some point. Likewise, traveling chefs, shops, and the like, for recipes that you know, you can potentially barter with that knowledge and get new recipes. Because some chefs hold recipes close to them, or maybe they'll offer it to you as a part of trade of some kind. It's like a, chef trade secret kind of thing.
Yeah, like a reward kind of thing.
And that's essentially how, like, the cooking system works. I try to make it as simplistic as possible. So, like, anybody can really gravitate and do it. And for food items, I have made a bajillion. I think I counted 200 and something items when I was done.
That's a lot of food.
I'll scroll through it real quick for y'all. So here's the candies. Then there's the drinks. I haven't added all the drinks yet, but I added most of them. The meals is by far the biggest. That many items. I think it's like 50 something if I recall. And then of course desserts, which are the least amount. But there's a reason these are classified in different sections, because they operate slightly differently from each other. I think I mentioned this earlier. Candies are unanimously usable as a bonus action. That's like their benefit. They're slightly weaker than meals, but they are usable as a bonus action for the most part. There's a couple that also are usable with a mushroom, that like have mushroom ingredients that are usable as no action. They take no action to use. The other thing in this game that's usable as a bonus action always is anything that's a mushroom or has mushroom in it. Because mushrooms are the primary healing items or buff items in the game, and their benefit is usable as a bonus action. So the couple candies that have both are a free action to use.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
And that goes for like, so there are some meals and desserts that have mushroom as a primary ingredient. They are usable as a bonus action. Drinks are, I'll pull one up as an example. Actually, I'll pull up a candy as an example first real quick. I'll pull up Fire Pop as an example here. And half the thing that took so long on this, as you'll probably notice, is I put a fun description on literally everything. I like flavor text. And so I always try to like add at least something. And there are some that have some very like meta, like descriptive texts. Like I'll show you one of my favorites that gets everybody I show. But as you can see, this is usable as a bonus action, and it grants 10 FP, and for the next 3 rounds, on any attack, the user deals an extra 1d8 fire damage.
Ooh.
And there's some other fun ones like, let's see. I'll give an example. Like, we'll show T-Bunny here, which it grants the user 7 FP, and they are immediately freed from the frozen condition if they are under it. It shatters it immediately. It also removes any condition caused by cold, such as Ray of Frost or Frostbite's effects, as the examples.
Makes a lot of sense.
Hell yeah.
Another fun one, because we were talking about Yoshi's earlier, we have Yoshi's Cookie.
Yay!
Yay!
Yoshi's Cookie heals 15 HP and 10 FP. Additionally, roll 2d4. Yoshi eggs of random colors mysteriously enter your possession. They can be thrown as if the Yoshi's egg toss racial feature was being used. So, you temporarily get the Yoshi's racial feature. The eggs mysteriously vanished if not used before your next long rest.
Mom.
They just bounce off.
Mom.
I'm glad that they mysteriously appear and disappear, because it's just like, where did those eggs come from?
How'd they get there?
May I offer you an egg in this trying time?
Because if you did put that description in there, you already know that someone would be like, yeah, I laid that egg.
It's supposed to kind of like be like, did they just lay an egg? Because that's why I put mysteriously appeared vanished.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's how candies generally work. And as you can see, like, what is it, Shroom Choco Bar here as an example. Heals the user 15 HP, takes no action to use. Because it is both a combination of a candy and a shroom.
Nice.
It's like a rapid heal item. But, as an example, drinks. So drinks are fun in which they have charges to them. Most of them, like, are technically in some kind of container that can, like, store them, and you can use it later. They give a base effect, and if you use more charges at once, it gives a more potent effect. I'll use Mix Shake as an example here. And obviously you have to track how many charges you have for these until, like, it's completely used up. But as you can see here, This one heals some HP, grants some FP, and it cures the dizzy, mini, blinded, and deafened conditions, and it prevents them for a certain amount of time depending on how many charges you use.
Ooh.
Up to 1 minute, 1 hour, or until your next long rest, depending if you use 1, 2, or all charges.
Got it. I like charges on weapons or on on consumables. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite consumables in D&D to introduce is the healing Slav.
Yeah. Let's go.
I know it's Sal. I think healing Slav is funny, okay?
But like as you can see, this one's also like another fun one. Like, it could set you up for something pretty good. Like, this one heals 5, 10, or 15 FP depending on how many charges you use, and it gives you a bonus to an ability check within the next 10 minutes, depending on how many charges you use. And like, it gives you an extra 1d4, 2d4, or 3d4 on the roll. It gives you a significant boost to your next ability check you choose.
That's pretty cool.
And obviously,
yeah,
obviously
I love the variety that you approached this with. They don't all just kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the thing. I was like, that's what frustrated me about like Super Paper Mario. I had to like customize like everything from that game because everything did one of three things mostly. Like we have another one here, for instance. Like this one is one of like the easiest things to craft, which is Tasty Tonic, and it prevents poison. It cures and prevents poison for up to 1 minute, 1 hour, next long rest kind of example. You know, poison's kind of like a thing that shows up pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
It shows up a lot in Paper Mario, so it being one of the more common items is pretty valuable. And of course we have this one. This is one of my favorites because I pulled this from Super Paper Mario. There's a series of primordial food items. And I was like, there's 4. I know exactly what I can do with this. And that's, for an hour, it changes one of your stats. This one in particular changes the mental statistic for an hour. Which
Interesting.
1 to 5 charges and does 15, 17, 19, 21, or 23. Primordial
the fucking limitless drink.
Yeah, the big brain drink. Primordial fruits are, of course, quite rare. This is quite a rare food item, so it would be significant to get a hold of one. But I was like, man, it'd be nice to make a consumable that's like a temporary version of like Circlet of Intellect or Gauntlets of Ogre Strength kind of deal. I was like, you know what? Done.
Yeah, like make it into a potion. Like that's a lot of things about consumables that I feel like the free action thing should be available only for very finite things. Because like players are like either that or like, for instance, like as you mentioned with the rogue, it's just like being a rogue feels more powerful having these kind of potions available to you. So it's just like, yeah, consumables should be more readily used, honestly.
Absolutely.
And like the problem is that players think about action economy a little bit too much, and they're like, I'm gonna lose damage output if I just don't attack. And it's just like, I feel like the brakes need to be pumped on like a lot of these systems of like, you don't have to attack all the time. You can take a moment, take a single round. You're not going to die if you take a single round to do this. And I think that's another problem that comes up a lot is like players have been treated in such a way that it's like if they don't just attack, their character ends up dying in 2 rounds. It's just like the rounds are way too short. Like, if that makes sense. Like, too many, like, so they try to do it as fast as possible as opposed to as, like, neat as possible. And I feel like that's very sad.
Yes, or it's the what if I need this consumable in the next fight thought process. The person that holds on to the 99 elixirs in Final Fantasy VII. This is a specific call out to many people out there.
Yep. You know who you are.
No, but what if I need that Phoenix down?
True. Me having that problem in Pokemon with ethers. Just use them.
I think I only used them at like the end game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad to hear that you use them. That's like the important part. Is like you're using them.
Yeah. I was also a grinder, so it's just like I over leveled a lot of things, and then when I got to red, then I was like, oh, I should probably use these.
Oh, absolutely. But like I made sure to try and have consumables for literally everyone, like under the sun, so that way I can get items to specific people as like rewards, or if maybe they're a bit down on their luck, I can make sure to like conveniently place something in the path that they'll stumble across.
Yeah.
Like another good example of like I have several items that like oh, this is convenient and could be useful in very certain situations. It's like me and Spar made this one as like an in gag for one of the games, which is called Mega Mole Chilla. And what it does is when you it has 1, 2, or 3 charges, it gives you a digging speed.
Ooh.
And 2 charges also gives you 60 feet of dark vision, and using all 3 gives you dark vision and tremor sense, along with the dig speed. Like it's like, how often are you going to use this? It's like not very often, but when you use it, it's going to be great.
Fun.
What else? We have the alternate version, which is Coconut Chill, which gives you temp HP, cures exhaustion, and gives you a climb speed. Because it's a Donkey Kong item. Specifically, this one's from the Donkey Kong Country cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Like, I do some incredible obscure pulls for characters and stuff. For those that saw the game, they also saw. Hang on, I gotta show this NPC. I gotta show the NPC. Where is he? Where is he? Is he not on here? I didn't make a thing for him. There is an NPC that we have from the Super Mario Brothers cartoon called George Washington, and he is an NPC.
Amazing.
Goodness.
He was in one episode, and a lot of us, like, in the Mario community, like, just obsess over this man. I can at least drop an image to y'all in the chat real quick, in the other VC chat. Let me locate it real quick. Where are you?
I believe in you.
There he is. Also show us token, because I was pretty happy with how I stylized the NPC tokens for this game. Look at this absolute unit.
Fucking ridiculous.
Oh, I can yeah, show him right here. Boom.
Look at him.
The boy.
The absolute unit. There's never been more of a unit. I had fun designing that token. That token was a lot of fun to design because, which I'll get into the lore once we wrap this little bit up. Because I did make my own entire like setting lore for this as well. But let's see. We went over drinks. Meals are generally very powerful. They're much stronger. They are usually used as an action unless obviously a mushroom is involved in their creation. But they usually have something very potent about them. Like, I'll give Veggie Set an example. The Veggie Set is one of the more powerful food items. It gives it heals 15 FP, gives 15 temporary HP until the next long rest. It's a longer lasting temps. And for an hour, you're also resistant to necrotic and poison damage.
Ooh.
It's just a very healthy salad. It'll keep you healthy.
I like that's how the logic works. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. Another great example is Koopa Pilaf. Because I love rice pilaf so much. And this specific item is for the next hour. It has the heavy armor master effect on all damage. You take 3 less damage from all sources.
Ooh, that's cool. Does it still have the non-magical specification?
No, it's all damage.
Nice.
Yeah, because it says it's counted as a form of lesser resistance. I do give people lesser resistance, which is like flat damage shave off with like magic items and the like. Lesser resistance is calculated before normal resistance.
I really liked how resistance in like 3.5 and 4e worked. The like give you a number, you take that much off.
Yes, that's
so
why
that is a lot of math to deal with. But with
it
the
is a
virtual
lot of math to
tabletop,
deal with.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
If it's coded in, then it's fine. But if it's like in real life, then it's just like it's a little bit mathy.
It can be. I found that to be like one of the least. In my opinion, I have found that damage reduction is one of the least like opposed maths in this, because it can feel very good to be like, okay, I have damage reduction, so I take it down from that much to how much. Like, it can feel really good to do.
Yeah, sadly, I've had experience with people who refuse to do math themselves, and you have to tell them every single thing that they're doing.
What are you playing a T.R.P.G. for?
Them. It's just like, it's one of those experiences of like people just not being actualized.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's also like confusing to me, because like you're playing a TTRPG, right? Like one of the core factors of TTRPGs is the math that's going into it, and like to put that onto everyone else feels selfish, in my opinion.
It is, but it's just like, like that's the only reason why I brought it up, is like, like sometimes it can get too mathy, and that can get annoying.
No, you do make a good point.
For sure,
it's not disagreeing. It's just like, just a different perspective.
But there are some items that also have some pretty extreme effects in the meal section too. Like I very much like block meal, which is from Super Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a pretty powerful effect. It's going to be difficult to make, but essentially is once you eat it, within the next minute, it will automatically block the next like 5 attack roll attacks at you.
Ooh.
It will just straight up block them.
So 5, like that's a pretty big number, blocking 5 whole attacks.
It is. It's one of the strongest items in the meal section. It's not something that you'll probably happen across very often. A blocked attack is declared before it's rolled. So like it won't be like a miss. A miss or a hit still counts like it down, essentially. So like it won't be like a missed attack doesn't count down that. It's like, no, it's any attacks. So like I wouldn't even roll at that point. I just say it exhausts like X number of attacks.
Okay. That helps clean up a lot of it.
There are some that are trade-offs. Some meals that are trade-offs with powerful effects too. I like the heavy honey meal and trial stew as examples. The heavy honey meal is very funny. For the next minute, you are considered to have an infinite supply of FP, but your movement speed is reduced to 10 feet. A turn, you have disadvantage on dex saves while it's going.
Oh, this honey's so fucking good.
But it gives you infinite FP for the duration as well. So you don't have to worry about like having like a cap on your FP for the time being.
Very powerful ability. I love trade-off abilities. Trade-off abilities are very fun.
You'll love the trial stew then, because there is a subtype of like strat in Paper Mario and Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door called the Danger Strat. And there are several badges in Paper Mario that work when you're low on health.
Okay, you said strat. My brain heard strap both times, and I was like, whoa. Whoa. But that makes a lot more sense.
There are some badges in Paper Mario that only work when you're below like half your health, or you're in peril, which is below a fifth of your health. And a lot of them like cause enemies to miss a lot, or they cause you to like do a shit ton more damage. The Trial Stew does something very similar, because the Trial Stew's purpose in Paper Mario: 1,000-Year Door is to achieve that outside of battle. It sets your HP to 1. And it does the same thing here. What it does is when you eat it, and I love putting in this, you can eat this by bracing yourself and taking an action. Like I love like adding like little bits of flavor text and stuff. And it drops your FP, and it removes all your current FP, and it drops your HP to 1. But as long as you remain at 1 HP, you can recover FP back. But as long as you remain at that 1 HP, every attack you throw is automatically a critical hit, and everybody fails your saving throws against your effects.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's a fun one. I love that kind of shit. Put me in the fucking danger zone. Hell yeah.
So there's a fun thing you can do with this still, because it says HP, not temporary HP, and there's quite a few items that give temps. So you can play the game if you really want. Likewise, if you get healed at all, it also ends. So it's very much I want to play the danger game in the fire.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the danger games. I think they're a lot of fun. I think one of my favorite examples of that in games can be when you like immediately take some sort of, and like you're doing it really well with a lot of these, where you immediately take some sort of like negative. It isn't something that you can just like mitigate around. It is like a pretty hefty negative for a pretty hefty benefit. That is the best way to do those sorts of trade-offs. The like smaller benefits and the smaller trade-offs can feel, it'd be like, okay, well, yeah, I don't want to take that like for that small of a bonus, but like the big swings, it's a really engaging way to handle that. Anyone who's played a TTRPG with me knows I like to play characters with big trade-offs.
Absolutely. And there are lots of like fun items with unique effects, and even the ones that are similar, I try to do differently. For instance, spicy dinner and spicy soup, which are technically do almost the same thing between the games, but I made sure to make them differentiate.
Mm-hmm.
So like spicy soup and spicy dinner as examples. The spicy soup heals you 8 HP and 4 FP, but it also puts the fire option Dragon Breath on you for a minute with a DC 13.
Ooh, okay.
Meanwhile, the spicy dinner is like your insides are so hot that you need to move. And so it heals you 15 HP. It grants you an additional 10 feet of movement for 1 minute. And for that minute, you also have an additional bonus action each turn. It is one of the more powerful food items, of course.
So this brings up a good question. How many meals can you be benefiting at any given time?
Yeah.
You can benefit from only one food buff at a time. You can immediately overwrite them by eating another.
Makes sense.
I may adjust that because I haven't gotten a good footprint of how often people like delve into the cooking stuff.
How often people want to do that.
Yeah,
because cooked food at like restaurants and stuff, it's very expensive. Like it's money. So like you're not gonna see a player like carrying around a whole bunch of these, like unless like somebody's playing the cooking game. It's usually only the items in like the other area. Like you'll see people carrying like some ingredients, maybe some mushrooms and the like. But cooked foods can typically only either be bought for quite a sum at restaurants or be made by players. So the odds of them carrying around a bunch of these at the same time are unlikely. Because if I thought about it, if they can benefit from multiple food items at the same time, it's like they're not gonna have many of these, and like these take an action to use. So like it's to eat 3 items for like the most amazing combo in the world. Your first 3 turns gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still balancing it out. I may allow people to benefit from multiple like food things at a time, or maybe allow one benefit from each category, like a snack, a drink, a dessert, and a meal.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the limiter. Is like one from each category. I know there's a limit on power-ups. Power-ups you can only benefit from one at a time.
There is a mechanic that you can possibly add as well that I read. I can't remember where I read it. That is basically called the sickening condition, where it's basically like the reason why you can't have this meal or take another version of this meal if it's like I know you're balancing a different part, but I guess I'm like jumping the gun a little bit. But basically you can't consume multiple buffs of potions, basically. because of the sickening condition. It's just like you have to wait for the previous potion to get out of your system before you can take another one.
Mm-hmm.
So stacking it is like a mixture between taking a potion and having a magic caster do a spell on you. So you can do that to get double buffs on something, but when it comes to just like taking it from the same source, it doesn't quite work that way. They take over each other or replace with one another. That's like that's one idea.
Funny enough, I like that as just a status ailment like enemies can dish out too. Like you can't eat food while you're sickened.
Yes, exactly.
That could be something fun because I was already considering a mute condition that's like a singular silence that you can't use rod badges or cast spells during. And there'll be items that can cure it, obviously, but sickened is I'm gonna have to write that down. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to like lab out like how I'm going to balance like people. So far, people have not had a whole lot of cooked items on them at any particular time. I need more of a footprint test to find that out. Because I've only run 5 games of this so far.
Now be careful with sickening as well when balancing it, because you could also, it depends on how powerful you want sickening to be in terms of your consumables, since this is a consumer heavy system. Sickening might be a really powerful one because you can also apply it to potions as well. Like they just can't keep it down. So you have to rely on magics to do all the buffs and all the heals and stuff like that during that combat if there's like a sickening condition going around.
Yeah. Well, like since like stuff is mostly divided between foods and like usable items, like I made sure to differentiate those two. So sickening would prevent like what would be able to prevent like the food section, but there are items that aren't foods that do heal. Like we don't have potions in the game. Like mushrooms are your typical like healing potion, as example. So they would fall under that same category. And of course, there's different stages of potion. You know, there's super shroom, ultra shroom. There's also a special type of shroom, like the star shroom series, that give temp HP instead.
Okay.
But I could certainly write that down in my notes as an idea of another status condition to add, to kind of like throw in the mix.
Yeah.
And maybe add some kind of food item called like an antacid or something. That can
like a candy that's Tums.
That's
basically.
Really good. Yeah.
Chalk candy.
Bellies.
Yeah, and it ignores the sickening condition on being able to eat it, and it cures the sickening condition.
Yes.
You could also have it cure like poisoned if you wanted to do a second thing.
Yeah, like you carry it around for multiple reasons.
Oh, I could make it like a drink, almost like Pepto-Bismol kind of deal.
And
like,
that's good. That's good. Alka-Seltzer.
Yes. Absolutely. That's fantastic.
There's a Mario pun with Alka-Seltzer somewhere.
Absolutely. We will solve that.
I don't have it. I don't have the Mario knowledge to come up with it, but like someone out there, you got that. You got
someone
it.
has
I believe in you.
I only know very limited Mario knowledge from like all the speedrunners that I've watched who speedrun mostly Nintendo games. So
Tick Sixel once at it. All right. Okay. All right. What do you got?
Saris, you know I trust you. Go for it.
Let me add these to my actual like update notes. Give me a second.
Make sure to actually write it down. Or
that is part of what we do in these streams. Is part of it. This is part of it.
Sorry, it's been minus for just a second.
Oh yeah, you're good. We have different just wells of knowledge from different systems, stuff like that, and different points of views, which can help collaborate a nice little balance in a variety of things. And it's good to have different points of views for different systems for that very, very reason.
All right, got that down. Fantastic. There we go.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
They are asking a question. Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem is being sick, right? We're looking to have a balance, like a cure. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Tasty tonic.
I could upgrade the tasty tonic. Isn't a bad idea. Because the tasty tonic does cure poison right now. I could upgrade one of its charges. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, just fix the one that you already have.
Yeah,
you already have like 200 things in here.
Yeah, because it cures the poison condition and prevents it for 1 minute, 1 hour, or next.
And
long
you could
rest.
have 2 charges cures the poisoned and sickened condition.
Absolutely.
And prevents them for up to 1 hour.
It's not a bad move. It is a seltzer. It was a seltzer in its description.
Hell yeah! So that works.
It is also probably one of the easiest food items to craft. I forget what it takes. Give me a second. Let me look it up.
Twisted Toon Taylor does say sparkle water from Odyssey.
Ooh, you know what? I can add another item. I can absolutely add another item. Let's see.
Well, you could have it do the inverse, where that one is focused on sickened.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Tasty Tonic is made either using a lemon, a lime, a coconut, or a bubbleberry. Cooked by itself. And because it has just an effect and it does not heal health, it would be like DC 12. It'd be very easy to master that recipe and make it. I'm so happy once you master a recipe, you just don't need a roll anymore. You just make them. I think that was that's the part that tires me on crafting. Every time you have to do a checkpoint in crafting, it's like, all right, keep doing checks. And then you turn around and make the item again, or make something similar. It's like, all right, you gotta go through the checks again. It's like, but I just made one. Did I retain knowledge?
Yeah, that's something that I also had a problem with, a lot of crafting systems. I do enjoy a lot of Final Fantasy XIV's crafting system, where it just feels more engaging. But they also have the auto craft part of it, where it's just yeah, you can just make it. It's not gonna be perfect, but you can make it as many as you want.
Well, and the auto craft system too in 14, it's you have to have crafted it first anyway to be able to then auto craft it. So at least they put some device there to where it's no, you still have to at least do some crafting, and then you at least then know how to do it after the fact. But yeah.
And once you get to a certain point of skill, it never fails.
Yeah, exactly, because doesn't in 14 it also applies to depending on how many times you've made it, how well the quality is when you do auto crafting?
I forget if it plays a major factor in it or not, and if anyone else knows, feel free to chime in. But it's more so about the stats.
Aqua, I love Final Fantasy mentioned, but in real shit, Aqua wakes up.
Okay, so to be fair, I feel like I'm basically trying to absorb information, and there's already decent things being asked. I'm all right, I'm just gonna sit here
Aqua,
until
you're perfectly welcome to chill here. We love your presence. I thought it was to me it was very amusing to have that moment of okay, we're just hanging out. Final Fantasy mentioned, Aqua, real shit.
Yeah,
knock in. No, well, so
I'm very happy about this.
It's it's my main MMO, so it's it is what it is. But
hell yeah.
But yeah, but
hey, I went all the way through Endwalker. It was a good time.
Oh, good job. I'm proud of you. Good. It's such a good expect. But on the crafting bit, different stats basically will determine the quality of how certain things will turn out. So, depending on that will increase the ability to create higher quality items when you do autocraft. But that's again, it's you're gonna have to first of all have the stats, which means that you're gonna have to craft the gear for it. So there's prep involved. It's not just a complete freebie. You do have to put in some level of work, but once you get set up, then it's not too bad. But if you do want to, and even with the autocraft though, it's not a guarantee that you're necessarily going to have everything be that way. So I mean, you do need to put. Usually, people get around that by just creating crafting macros, so that way you can still get the high quality craft based on the numbers of your stats, and then certain abilities that you have that can help ensure that you're going to actually get the high quality threshold. But yeah,
nice. Hell yeah, that helps a lot, because I also am trying to think of crafting systems for my own system. So it's just yeah. Good to have this knowledge.
But it is satisfying. I do enjoy that aspect of it. And of course they do provide some level of grind because MMO RPGs. So
yeah.
Well, yes.
That's right.
So, The last section I have, since we've just like discussed meals too, is desserts. And desserts, they have two main things about them. One is they don't just heal you. They usually heal people close to you or somebody you target nearby as well. They are your support food item. Like you share them. You share desserts.
Cute.
They usually heal in a
Which is
radius
very
around.
meta.
Share your desserts.
Very, very meta. It makes everyone happy, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's why snacks or bonus actions are quick to eat. They're not very filling, but they're quick to eat.
Me with my healing potion rock candy in games. It is a staple of my D&D games. Is healing potion rock candy.
Heck yeah. But desserts usually heal in like a 10-foot radius. It usually does half as much as it does on you. The ones that allow you to target a specific person other than you usually heals the same between you two. And usually they do something special. Like I know is it Heartful Cake that does it? No, Heartful Cake. Which one was? There's one of these that like, is it couples? Yes, it's couples. Where you choose to heal. This one is the longest range one. It allows you to give both you and one person you target within 60 feet 18 temporary hit points, and you magically teleport, swapping places. You pop swap locations.
That's cute.
Let's see, what's another good one? Here's another one. Like the Kooky Cookie and the Strange Cake are very fun because they do random things in Paper Mario, and so I made them do random things here. In which you have to roll to see what effect you get. 2 of them are bad and 4 of them are good.
Nice, nice.
Deck of many things, but food-wise.
Absolutely. But anything that also has cake in its name does something unique.
When you're lactose intolerant, you don't know if the cake has dairy.
Yeah. Oh no.
Ooh, it's a trap.
It doesn't matter to a person who's lactose intolerant. They will eat that shit anyway.
Trust me,
they do
I know.
not care about their suffering.
But that's why it's like you eat it. It's more of just a matter of like, well, wonder whether or not this is gonna hurt me later.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking funny. It's like, yeah, there's a clear difference between a lactose intolerant person and someone with peanut allergies. It's just like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
Thank you for gifting out another fucking subscription, Vaughn. I appreciate you.
Fun.
I know you stand the homies, but stand yourself too, hun.
Wow. Can't believe you did this.
Can't believe you've done this.
Can't believe you've done this.
All right, well, just in time, because we're about to hit another break real quick. So if you want to wrap up this, and then we'll just break, and then we'll come back to it.
Sounds good. The last example I'll give is like anything that has like cake in its name has kind of like, you see this large blurb here, but essentially anything that has its cake in its name can actually have extra items topped on it.
That's cute.
It takes, what is it? I believe it's... No, it just uses part of its action. And it accepts nuts, candies, fruits, herbs, and mushrooms. And if you add it to it, it applies its effect, anything it heals, onto the cake as well. And that includes, like, when it AoE effects, too, as well. Like, the effects will still be halved, and any, like, duration stuff will be reduced to 1 round to anybody besides the main user. But you can, like, put some cool stuff on top of this to, like, make it stronger. Including, say, like, that tasty tonic that removes sickness you can put on that cake. And everybody that gets benefited from it now no longer has sick.
That's
Heck yeah.
amazing.
That's a cool ability.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna really quick slam this add button. See y'all in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember to stretch your
Fawn
water.
is ungovernable.
Drink your stretches.
Well, so far this has been an absolute delight.
Yeah, we love chatting about TTRPGs. That's the entire... Ray kept saying, it's like, oh, I want to speak to just talking about it. I was like, okay.
I just want to speak. I want to jabber.
And that is what this is for. This is the jabber about TTRPGs stream.
The
We are
jabber talkie.
yappers.
Jabber
Jabber talkie, walkie talkie.
There's something there. There's something there, Aqua.
There's something there. I agree. There is something there. You gotta find it.
The jibber jabber walkie talkie.
I should acquire a drink. I'll be right back.
Get the sip.
Return. Ad break ends in 1 second. Perfect timing.
Damn it.
Yo-ho!
Eris, you can't jump scare me like that.
Wah.
You just sent me a DM. This has been an ongoing meme. I'm gonna put it in the other channel, in the other VC. They keep sending me this.
Well, I've got to pull it up.
Hold on. Where? What? Oh, pff, no shy guys.
There you go. There you go, stream.
They keep sending
You
me
can
it.
thank Saris for this.
Thank you, Saris. Get those rotating theropods out of here.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh.
Skelly, what's next on the docket?
All right. I guess it's just at this point, because I've discussed like the major systems for the most part that I've added. Because other than that, it's just very small stuff such as, you know, like currency conversion and the like. Or just homebrew rules that I generally use, like flanking gets +2 instead of advantage, that sort of thing. At this point, I guess it would just be like story stuff and like funnies. I basically took everything that I liked about like the Mario series in general and just like crammed it together, like using Paper Mario as like the basis. Like there's some Odyssey stuff in here. There's like some new Super Mario Brothers stuff. There's like stuff all the way back from Super Mario Bros. 2 and 3 from the NES. Favorite parts of like all the games just like thrown together. But for the most part, the story is original. It takes place after Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Because it describes an aspect that I've always been curious about myself with Mario games. Like, Mario doesn't have, like, a static world. Like, there's always, like, a like, Bowser Castle. There's always, like, a Peach's Castle in Toad Town. But, like, a lot of other stuff just changes around it. And I kind of, like, implemented, like, a story reason to why that is. Kind of, like, threading into, like, a little bit of, like, Super Mario Maker. Just a little bit. And it's because there's a 6-pointed star that passes over the world yearly that changes it. Usually for what people desire in their hearts to see. Whether or not it's good or bad depends on the person, like the area that when it passes over. It also replenishes like all like the question mark blocks, the floating coins, resources, and so forth. So the world is like in like a form of eternal prosperity in a way. But this past year, wherever it passes over the closest, the festival's held. And this year it was in the Mushroom Kingdom jurisdiction. And when it passed over this year, something dark and massive struck it and shattered it into thousands of pieces.
For 1,000 years?
Oh, that would be terrible. Like, probably for eternity, unless people could figure out how to fix it. The pieces scattered over the planet, and now the world is kind of like, the best way I could describe it is literally glitching out. The world is randomly changing to other points in time. Maybe an area becomes snowy one day and lava hot the other day. Maybe an area is like tilted at a strange angle that gravity shouldn't be able to support but does. Maybe one area is just all negative colors now. Like, any kind of strange property that can change is now like rapidly like rotating. Like, it's almost like a procedurally generated like game has like gone haywire. And everybody's now trying to figure out like how to fix this, how to stop it from the shards from doing what they're doing. And the one thing people has noticed is there's a couple places that seem immune to this effect for some reason or another. And that's Toad Town and Peach's Castle, despite shards raining there. Bowser's Castle and the immediate surrounds, despite shards raining there. And a few other very sparse locations appear to be spared, like, this strange wrath. So right now, like, the pesky plumbers and many other heroes are, like, trying to solve the problem. Like, alright, do we collect the pieces? How do we put it back together? What do we do? And the problem is the shards, like, intrinsically change whoever picks them up in some fashion. So, like, they're very unstable. Like, maybe if someone picks it up, it'll change their race. Maybe it'll change something as simple as their hair color. Maybe it'll catch them on fire without them actually, like, burning. Maybe they'll just be permanently on fire while they're holding it. So, they're very volatile, and it's very much a major problem. And currently, the starting cast for the Thursday game is currently looking into a larger affected area that it's believed maybe one of the larger pieces is at fault for causing this, but there's, like, people disappearing, there's large land masses disappearing, and there's, like, large pieces of a giant mountain disappearing in an area to the far north. And the party's going to investigate, because if they can locate that and, like, just find a way to stop that piece from doing what it's doing, it'll at least bring back some stability around there. And that's essentially, like, what the basis of the campaign's about.
Heck yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of other nuances and stuff to, like, the lore and story, but some of it, nobody has seen so far, so I can't give spoilers.
I don't want you to spoil your game on here, so don't worry about that.
But I can say, without a doubt, that everybody seems to be enjoying it, even from the prelude games that we kind of did, like, it with either, like, a closed crowd or behind closed doors. People have been very much enjoying the game.
Heck yeah. That's good.
So much art of it already, it's ridiculous.
Yay!
That's amazing. Congratulations.
I can show off, like, some of the artistry stuff that has been done that people have seen.
The art we got from Rock Bottle of everyone was my first piece of fan art I've ever gotten. It was wild for me.
Hell yeah. I bet you looked at that and you were like, what?
I teared up a little bit, yeah. I've never had someone be like enjoy a character like in that way. It's still new for me.
Hell yeah.
Aww.
Well, I'm very glad that you got some. Everybody deserves a little bit of.
No, it's just I'm such a big fan of art. I'm just like I'm excited whenever I see that. Like the Unexpectables fan art streams are always so lovely, and yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Like I never expected to get like when I was on there for that one shot. I never expected like somebody to actually like turn around and like draw Jenna fighting. I was like, holy shit! Somebody actually drew something of it. It was quite wild. It's a surreal feeling when you get that first one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But for some of the first art, like I'll show you like the tokens because we always got to do custom tokens in my games, like bar none. You always got to have something that looks good. And here's some of the tokens for the game for some of the games being ran. Because I always get these lineup shots. The first shot is the current cast that's on Thursdays. And I still love the fact that Yuki Goomba played her Sona in the one that I did with her.
Heck yeah.
It's very funny. One of these days I gotta get Gaijin Goomba on one of these games and he has to play Little G.
I mean,
it's gotta happen.
It's the Goomba.
Yeah, it's gotta happen. He nearly strangled me when I told him, like, I do have, like, setting lore for, like, an area that's very thematic to him. And it's run by a slammer guy from Super Paper Mario. He got mad at me.
Yeah.
I don't understand the context, but haha.
Slammer guy is, like, really big, like, samurai dudes.
Ooh, gotcha. That's pretty cool. That's very Gaijin coded.
But we have like a bunch of like really good like pieces of art so far that people have drawn. Let me see, what are some other good ones that I can do? Let's see. A lot of it is jokey art because I will say above everything, this game is lighthearted and comedic. We were very much joking around constantly during the game, because that's.
I mean, that is the tone of the game, right? Like different games have different tones, and you do different things in different games. I very much go for a sort of dramatic absurdism with like my Friday game where I'm trying to juxtapose a little silly bit like that happens occasionally with the severity of the setting, right? Like the little bits of joy within the darkness. That's the theme. So we don't do like a lot of joking, but like when a funny bit happens, it's funny. Like, and that's the humor of it. And like that is, but like for a game like, but for a game like this, it's much more focused on, it's much more focused on like humor and joy and interaction and meta context. And I think it's very fitting for it. Sarah, it's like the Whiplash of Haka and Vex finding the Nautiloid and like having that serene moment, and then the Nautiloid eating the body.
That was one hell of a scene. Holy shit!
They killed it. I fucking Thero and Sarah is so good.
I try to tune into that as much as I possibly can or catch the VOD. It's a very good game so far.
I appreciate it. We're getting into the thick of it now.
Oh hell yeah.
Woohoo.
But I could show some other like concept art of like enemies and NPCs as well.
As much as you feel comfortable showing, you know.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not going to show any major spoilers or anything. But here is an example of like the mock-up of what like the cosmic star would look like. It's almost like a sheriff badge.
Oh, gotcha.
I haven't really shown this off in the game yet, but it is something that most of the players have seen. So it's not like I should put it on screen next time somewhere so people can see it. But
as it was originally known as the Lone Star badge.
Reference to cowboys.
That's where it came from.
Let's see. So other good piece I could show? Because I know there's a lot of like good like joke art that we got that's just fascinating and fun. I know Moth loves to draw like Gajika versions of their of like Boodazzle and Hat's Bob-omb Grin, which this was like the funny part because like at the very start like Bowser Jr. like broke through like the ballroom window, and I love that Moth drew this as response with them in their Gajinka forms.
I love Moth's art. Moth's art's so good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like, it looks like we're gonna have to kill this guy, Gren. Damn.
Damn.
It's great.
I also love this meme. This meme format is S tier. I think my favorite one I've seen is Bluey and Vegeta. I love the really random combinations, but just like, I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Bluey. Damn.
Dang it.
What a combo.
I was like, oh man.
It's just also Bluey saying damn is so funny to me.
Like, there's some other great ones, like Sprite Star was like even drawing even as a player while the game was going, and he drew this when Clobber heard that like the Kong item store down the street may have like animal crates, and he had this really Spar drew.
I love this. This is good.
That fucking rhino.
Nice.
Did the fucking like war flashbacks?
It's that look. That straight on look. It's great.
What are some other good ones? And obviously, y'all see in the upper right hand corner the title screen card that will be updated as the game goes. Because there are things that will be revealed that may show up on that card as we go.
Ooh.
Nice.
Let's see. What are some other good ones? Here's another great one that Gigi drew also. Also a player also drawing stuff mid-game. Because they rolled the like natural 20 initiative at the very start of the game. So they fucking... It was very funny.
Fucking Diglett energy right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what wackos are. They're like little mole fellas that poke out of the ground.
They're doing their best.
And even for previous games, we have tons of. Like,
Sarah's fucking hitting you with the.
I can delve into some of the like cute art from previous games, like that weren't streamed too. But
it is entirely up to you. Whatever you want to show off from this. This is when we do this kind of thing, it'll be like someone showing off a thing, and it is primarily us giving someone else the space to chat about a thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like even if you need to like tackle something like in the tabletop, it's like I've been having issues with this thing. It's like spitballing.
Like, ooh, I want to do this thing, or I've been thinking about doing this thing, or I have an item I want to help out. Like, that is what we open this space up for.
The balancing of characters actually stockpiling food items and like consuming 5 of them in a game. While it would take up like their first like 5 turns to do it because a lot of them are actions. Stacking power-ups like that has been a slight concern, though nobody has done it so far.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wasn't sure if it was a prevalent issue, but like figure out like, oh, people could benefit from like 1 buff from each food group may be like the path, and then like enemies could potentially sicken people.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so, like,
no, having those couple extra like interactive mechanics definitely helps with balancing that.
Yeah, because everybody has room for a snack, a drink, a meal, and of course everybody has room for dessert.
Always have room for dessert. I have a second stomach for dessert. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and like you can benefit from all. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Let's see some other fun images from the Yuki Goomba group, because it's some folks that we knew around. I don't know if the name Super Crazy Bones rings any bells for anybody. But they're Dry Bones.
I'm also not super internet savvy.
Okay, they're a fairly big like Dry Bones avatar entity, and like we ran one of the games in their server while it was still around. And that was the one with Yuki Goomba and company. It was the group in the second token image that I posted, the third token image that I posted, that had a Nabbit and 3 Dry Bones in it. That was one heck of a group. That's one race I forgot to mention that I have a stat block for is Nabbits from
What are Nabbits?
New Super Mario Brothers. They're little rabbit fellers with with the like little like smile mask, kind of like how
What are
Bowser
the lunar
Jr. has.
bunnies?
Yes. Ooh, I could show that off. Thank you for saying lunar bunnies.
Yay!
Because while it hasn't been shown on stream yet, everybody in like the verse around me doing it already knows of these guys' existence. And of course, because every game needs a burgeoning force. Like, you know, your new enemies, like Fawful and crew, or Cackletta and like company, or like the enemies from like Super Paper Mario. I talked with a good pal of mine, Sparrow, and did a bulk commission of several $100s to concept out with me an entire new enemy faction. And I got them custom art. And I have like 30 unique art pieces of these guys.
Heck
and I'll be happy to show some of these. They're like the world's biggest known secret, so I have no problem showing them on stream. Or like the world's most poorly kept secret, rather. Because I talk about them all the time. And I'll show you a couple examples of them. Let's see. Let's see. I'll show you a couple examples of the ones that I got so far. But let's see. I'll show the most common ones because I don't want to spoil too much, of course.
Yeah, not too much.
Here are the 3 most common ones out of this enemy faction. I'll keep what I talk about them sparse for obviously reveal details, but I'll be happy to at least show what they look like.
Ooh.
And like I said, I was very happy that you said lunar bunnies.
They're cuties! Oh my god!
Star bunnies.
Oh, those are cute.
I love them.
I like the
This
little
one
guys.
will fuck you up.
I would be one of these for sure.
They may or may not appear on the campaign.
I love them. Oh my god!
But I need my own personal
Ray and I
faction.
have very big space coding. We both love moon and star shit. So like, Moon Bunny or Star Bunny is like, yeah, you're
Frank
cooked.
Ober.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be a very good time. You will enjoy some Paper Mario stuff because they are my custom enemy faction. They are not found in any Mario game, but I wanted some Mario coded enemies, and my pal Sparrow is all about Paper Mario, and more importantly, Kirby.
Hell yeah, I love me
He
some
draws
Kirby.
a shit ton of Kirby stuff, and I'm like, help me make an enemy faction that looks like it could appear in both games. And that's what the hell we did.
Oh, I get it. Because star stuff.
Yup. I was like, I couldn't think of anybody better to do this bulk commission with. But yeah, they will appear and they have some lore stuff involved with them. I'm not going to mention it because I'd rather that be revealed on the campaign, of course. But they're very fun, we'll say. Let's see, what's some other art stuff I could show you? I do have images from the previous Paper Mario campaigns I can show off, because Yuki, whenever she plays a game, she draws like 6 to 7 art images like every session, like rapid ass sketches, like funny shit. But there are some fantastic moments that Yuki drew. I'll be happy to show a couple of these real quick. Let's see. Oh, here's I'll add one, a drawing fighting one of those guys in the previous images. Let's see. What's a good one? Where's my favorite one? Here it is. My favorite one's the third one, absolutely out of all of them. But like, here's some examples of like Yuki's work, like doing little fun sketches during the campaign.
Yeah.
At the first one, I get the energy of the no, ding ding ding, look over here.
Yeah, keys. Jingle, jingle, jingle,
Jingle
jingle.
jingle jingle jingle.
She did some fantastic work on all three.
Yeah,
like,
I
all three
really
of the
love the
images.
perspective work on this. This is really good.
the third image out of those three is by far my favorite because it was when the character got the Quake Stomp badge.
Oh my god, I just noticed that the shoes are fucking photoshopped in.
Yeah, they're Photoshop Timberlands, so we always called them the Quake Tims.
Fucking
Funniest shit in the
Tims.
world.
Also gave him the fucking Kamina glasses.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They were cool as heck. And of course, the middle image is them beating up like the middle image of the above. Like that was them after they used a double cherry. So there was a copy of him that appeared for a minute, or for like an hour. And the double cherry makes basically a copy that goes like on its own initiative order of you that has like half your maximum health. And it can do some of the stuff you can do. If it uses spell slots, it still uses your spell slots, but it can cast spells and stuff. There's like limits to it.
Sorry, I got distracted. Lucy has some of the funniest. Lucy has the jingle case.
Yes, absolutely.
Lucy, the crazy person that I keep throwing upon Thalia of videos of, where she's like beating up like the arrow.
I love playing. I did a long stint of playing with Lucy playing Party Animals. She's very fun to be around. We would both pick the ape and we'd be like, apes together strong.
She's so fucking funny.
She's great.
Agent of Chaos.
Let's see. And then, of course, before that, the very first game also had some fantastic art done, too. Mostly, once again, kind of like shitposts and the like.
Oh my god, Hatling, Hataru, thank you for the Party of 11 raid. Hi.
Oh, hey, Hat.
Welcome in. We're chatting about some good old Skeletalpha Mario RPG stuff.
Oh.
Paper Mayo, exactly.
So Hat plays the Bob-omb in that main image. So,
makes sense.
Yet another player has made their appearance. Welcome in, Hat.
Hello.
Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming in.
Let's see, some of the fantastic. Okay, this one is like the most notorious piece of art so far. And it was drawn by Vex version, and whenever anybody talks about paper art, they always reference this particular image, which is so funny. Just doing like the SpongeBob press through like a paper pagoda wall.
Oh my god, he's so good.
Vex is great. It's so funny.
The hat silhouette.
The hat silhouette. That's what gets me.
It's just like the SpongeBob pressing through like the door. Some other good one. Oh, here's another like art piece of Spirit when talking about how like fighting like the little bunnies we were talking earlier, and like one of them remembering like how they beat up an earlier crew and like wanted to get revenge, and so they Spirit drew this image and sent it to me. Which is
oh my god.
He's like loading and clicking a Nintendo Zapper. It's not even a gun.
It's Nintendo Zapper.
So fucking good. Very peak.
Oh, it's so stupid. Oh.
This bunny, lunar bunny thing is like my favorite fucking thing right now.
Oh yeah, the little small scrungly looking one, that's like the center of the three images I sent. That's like the Goomba Goon equivalent. Like, there's a bunch of them. And so, like, seeing them, you see them the most often out of that faction. What's some other good
adorable
ones? Oh, right, the crazy, like, the Chapter 0 test. The crazy boss that we had. I'll also show the character's proper art in just a moment, but I have to show this off first. Which is drawn by Crystal Chimera. BICTH in that order. I love that meme so much. Let me get the actual character. The actual character was the boss of that Chapter 0.
Ooh.
Which was once again a King's Blood Koopa. And it's there's a bit of like joke to them as well that I'll have to explain. Where are you? You're here somewhere. Are you? Oh, they might be in. I might change them to the OCs folder. Give me a second. Let's see. Yes, here they are. This is what they look like, and Sprite Star did a fantastic job drawing this character. Because it's one of my favorite Koopas, and one people forget exists. One of my favorite types of Koopas. And yes, his eyes do look like that.
Zappy.
Electro Koopa.
They're an Electro Koopa from Sunshine.
Oh yeah, I love those guys. They're goofy little guys, and they throw their shell and they get all naked.
Yeah.
Also the sunflowers. I love the sunflowers.
The end joke is his name is T.R.P.G Koopa, like almost like Crazy Koopa, but it's T.R.P.G because there's always a joke in Sprite Star server when somebody doesn't know how to name an OC. They're like, name it Craig. So his name is a joke on Craig.
Nice.
But because it's like that's the most unassuming name for like a big boss ever.
So this is, I think, always a good question to ask people about their games or their systems. What's your favorite thing about the game or the system?
For like Paper Mario in general, or
yes,
or like,
and then also what you've done with it.
I like Paper Mario because it, like, obviously there's tenseness, but there's always kind of like that Saturday morning cartoon villain flair on everything. There's rarely like a moment that kind of like suddenly like pulls at your heartstrings. That's what Super Paper Mario did. Super Paper Mario's story will suck you in and make you tear up. It will get to you, and that's like my favorite part of it because it's different from the rest of the series. But there's always like the Saturday morning cartoon villain flair. Like the good guys, you know, is expected to win. Like at the end of the day, maybe there's some collateral damage and the like. But just that like lighthearted, you never know what kind of little goofy thing happens around the corner. I think that's my favorite part about it. Like weird little blorbos suddenly show up out of nowhere that you just did not expect. That are missing something or other.
Mario is very good blorbo fuel.
Yes, that is like my favorite part. What are the big annoying rocket enemies in Paper Mario? Do you mean clefts? Do you mean like the clefts, like the little guys that like have like their feet and they have like the underbite?
Oh, see, I thought you were talking about the things that like drop down on people. Like the like big fucking metal plates with spikes and faces.
Oh, thwomps?
Yeah.
Like I can get a picture of like the enemy Sarah's talking about. This is an enemy unique to the Paper Mario series, so they show up in most of the games.
Gotcha.
Where's the enemies? Do I? Oh, they're there. This is the type of enemy that Sarah's talking about. These little goobers.
Oh my god.
Fucking Crimson Chin ass jaw.
Yeah.
You want a cleft named Crag? Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll have to tell Spar that.
Also, Cleft as a joke is funny enough. The Crimson Chin sidekick was named Cleft.
I do remember that. Yeah, from
the meta knowledge. It goes in layers.
Meta knowledge.
Let's see. Was there anything else I could really realistically show off? Like that was the boss of Chapter 0. I can show what was supposed to be a mini boss in the one with Yuki, but they diplomacied him into a perfect friend.
That's always fun.
And then he opened a royal barista in Peach's Castle's bathroom because nobody else wanted him around.
Damn.
There's a lot of jokes going on.
Go where you want it.
What he is. It's because of what he is, and a lot of people already know this character exists, so I don't mind showing him off. I don't think he'll show up in this current campaign. He might. I'd have to think of somewhere to put him if he did. Let's see, where is he? Oh no, he's definitely going to be in here. There you are. So, This is so. Some people that are familiar with Paper Mario know what fuzzies are. They're the little like dudes that kind of look like little spiky like black things with like little buck teeth and little crazy eyes. I have a king fuzzy.
Oh.
That I made as a one-off fella, and then Yuki made him wonderful art based on the description I gave out of nowhere, and I've just been like, I'm enamored with this. And this is Big Joe, or King Big Joe, as he likes to be called, even though he's not technically royalty. But he found a crown somewhere, and he's just going with it.
I need to see this creature. Oh my god. What a creature.
He is an absolute creature.
For a second, I thought it was just gonna be like a king, rat king situation where it's just a bunch of them just swamped together.
That's pretty cute.
That I will say that would have been pretty nightmarish.
I like my nightmares. They're fun.
We know. I've seen Nick's.
Yay! Yay,
Rat
drama!
King Fuzziest nightmare fuel. No, Big Joe got diplomatized into a friend because Yuki had to do the "Are you feeling bonita? I'm bonita. Are you bonita?" And I'm just like,
feeling bonita.
Yeah, and I was just like,
Do you
son
feel
of a bitch.
bonita?
And then they got like a crit on the persuasion, and then they're like,
"Are you feeling
kinda.
bonita? Are ya, punk?"
And they want to be like a barista is like their big thing. So like they opened up they like took over one of the bathrooms at Peach's Castle and actually you opened it and you're like, oh, there's gonna be like stalls and stuff in here, isn't there? And like you open it and it's just like an actually fully furnished like barista bar. There's no signs of stalls in there anymore. It's like, what happened to the bathroom?
Complete renovation.
Yeah.
Little did people know they were a contractor in their past life.
But that's another fantastic NPC. What's some more NPCs I can show off? Let's see, what's some custom ones I can show off? See, I showed off Washing Toad. Like that's like the litmus test. I know one I can show you. I will show you guys. I will put a request to not show this on screen.
I will not show this on screen. I'll shut the chat.
Okay. I will be happy to show you guys this because this is part of the story. And that is
Ooh, secret.
A month and a half to 2 months ago. Okay, it's another one of the biggest like open secrets in the world. But still, I want to see the pop off on campaign when they see this character.
Hell yeah.
But Bowser went missing about 2 months ago after the Mario Brothers put the trounce on him over another cockamamie scheme. And left him to lick his wounds. The day was saved and stuff. Bowser has since like disappeared. This is also part of the story because a lot of people are disappearing up to the north. And like Toadsworth and gang thought, hey, there's a chance that like Bowser may have disappeared there because like Kamek and Bowser Jr. are like working together with like Peach's Castle because they need to find Bowser, and they heard like a secret meeting being held about people disappearing. And so there's like an uneasy alliance going on right now because they want to find Bowser Jr. wants to find his dad very bad, and Toadsworth sympathizes with that. Even though refinding him is going to cause problems for everybody in the future, he's kind of on the mindset that like a father and his son shouldn't be separated, right?
Yeah.
So cue to one or two of the backroom games running into this character.
Oh no.
That's funny.
I will have to wait
That's a
to
good
see
one.
it.
A totally legitimate salesman.
Yeah.
But that being said, chat, get excited for a totally legitimate salesman.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But let me see what else. Let's see. Any other good characters I could show?
There was Spin.
Bean.
Spin.
Oh, the last characters I can show because I know y'all appreciate it. I know you'll appreciate these two. And these two, of course, you can show off. They're not like too secretive or anything. These are drawn by Yuki Goomba and Mocking Moth, respectively.
I'm gonna delete the other one.
Yeah. Do that real quick. There was a flash of it on, like the nose of it on screen because I didn't want to.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine.
But I did see it. I did get
to
see it. I did get to see it. I can actually delete it without showing it off.
Yeah. What's it?
Okay.
I got it. Oh, there. The people saw it for a millisecond. There you go.
I don't care if it actually appears. It's fine.
Nah, it was like a millisecond. There you go. If you want to go back, you can clip it if you really want to spoil yourself.
So there is a pair of Chef Koopas that are life partners that are also like brave adventurers at the same time. And this is Tu and Quiche Koopa.
Aww.
Oh, adorable.
They're chefs.
Oh,
That's so cute.
the fucking like pie crust shell.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Tu is egg themed and Quiche is quiche themed.
Now I want a fucking quiche.
I love quiche so much. Like quiche
I
and
love
frittatas and all.
Quiche is so good.
And tarts, just like.
One of the regular household meals we have over here is a chorizo quiche.
Hell yeah. And as Moth loves to exclaim about them, they're both chefs and they're gay. Let's go.
Woohoo!
They have been life partners for about 8 years, and they have gotten into some wacky adventures. And they currently run a famous restaurant in Toad Town.
Hell yeah! Is the barista in competition with them now?
Not particularly, though. I do want to write something regarding those two, and like either getting along or like setting up a shop.
The barista starts serving their food at the place. Like, oh yeah, we have a whole like deal set up now.
Yeah.
He does the brews and we do the cooking. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to do some rolls in the background, see if they manage to get along or not, and like set something up, because it could be lucrative or it could be like the start of like a food war. But yeah,
Send in the drone.
That's all the characters I guess I have to show for now. And I think I covered just about everything. I think I have more still I want to work on, and of course still converting it to its own system, but slow paces. I want to make sure to thoroughly test everything in steps as I implement it. Like, there's one thing I really want to do for when, because these are mini campaigns, right? I'm doing 3 mini campaigns on my channel. They're each going to be about 5 months long.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we're going to do a full-blown campaign.
Ooh.
And the full-blown campaign adds something fucking wild that I want to try. And I'll give you a hint, I'm going to take a coin out of Acquisitions Incorporated's book.
Oh.
Because
I feel like you said coin very intentional.
So... Everybody knows there's one thing I'm missing from battles in Paper Mario games. That's
everyone
the
who plays at
watches.
least. Oh, the audience.
The audience watches and can influence the fight in the games. So I want to add something that allows watchers to influence the fight.
It's hard to balance, but it is very fun.
Have you seen...
Twitch has cooldowns on redeems and stuff like that I've been messing with.
Yeah, you can mess around with cooldowns. Have you seen GDQ's new setup, stream setups?
Yes.
Recently?
Yes, that was one thing that was like I pinned as potential playing. I've also been studying like the Acquisitions Incorporated officials like playthrough very well because they did influencing from the crowd.
Yes. Okay. So cool. Because like on GDQ's streams, they actually do have like at least at one point they had like an audience thing, and people's emotes were coming through and adding like the little characters that appeared on screen, which is based off of how many people were talking in chat. So there's more people that show up, the more people talked in chat. Individuals talked in chat. So like you can actually see these little characters come into this the screen to sit down at the theater pretty much, and then clap and applaud. And
Oh,
there's,
kind of like the way that
specific
people
emotes.
have the like little characters that show up like for every person in chat. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that.
I
It's
would
very
love to
cute.
do
I
that.
loved what they've done with like interactions with the chat and GDQ stuff.
It would require probably a different overlay setup because like the players with the Fugis in the game are kind of standing where the audience would be.
Yeah.
But
I mean, but if you're gonna
I
do that for the final campaign, for like the big full campaign, I think that makes sense. Like having a different setup, like having the character portraits. Because if I remember correctly, the characters are always on the left side of the screen in Paper Mario. So
yes,
having the portraits like in a line coming down on the left side of the screen.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely an option. I know, like Sarah said, yeah, the audience does matter in A Thousand Year Door because they have that's the like crystal star meter that the crowd helps you charge to give you special attacks. And I'm not gonna talk. The only thing I'm gonna say in that regard is the main campaign will have a similar gimmick that I've already concepted out.
Hell yeah.
So this is all like, because I'm getting like the mechanics of the setting and stuff down, and then I'm gonna layer on this bullshit on top of it for like fun audience interaction. This is what the mini campaigns are for. They're for testing stuff. Like you suggested, like the sicken mechanic and like adjusting the food
Yes.
stuff. Mini campaign 2 will probably have that implemented for the test
Hell
run.
yeah.
And see how well it works. And I definitely want to try and get all of this like going because I'd love to make it some big grand spectacle. Because I always watch like other major like streamers, like like Unexpectables or Legends of Avantris or like other people that like make like a grand spectacle of like the game, and like I've always looked at that and, like I want to do something like that that's just as memorable.
If I wasn't so gosh darn busy, I would draw up a concept for how the layout could possibly work, because I do a lot of
anything. Fingers touch emoji.
I do a lot of graphic design and layout work, or at least I have done in the past for like streamers and stuff like that. Again, like a lot of my clients for my commissions have been speedrunners, so they need a very particular overlay to do their jobs and make it look nice and shiny. So like I'm used to doing overlay work for like very specified situations. Because some of the streamers have games that are only square format. Like there are games that are only square format. Some of them have games that are 2-screen format. Some of them actually have like the standard size. You know, like really weird layouts sometimes appear. So having one that introduces an audience while still displaying the characters, the main cast and stuff like that. While also, I don't know if you include roles in your streams, like have the chat see the roles that are popping up.
Yes, there is a spot. I can let me say I can show you a screenie of the overlay. Give me just a moment.
But like to dive into that, like you as the DM could be in kind of like the theater box on the top right corner with the roles underneath you, with the characters displayed on the left side as like a traditional Paper Mario game and stuff like that.
So
with the audience underneath.
I'll put it in the other chat. Here's like what the overlay essentially looks like, and where the names are is where the players sit.
Yeah.
I think I tuned in for a little bit. It is definitely a cool or a fitting setup, especially for having the little Fujis. They're a really easy way to do the talking heads. I know setting it up to do vertical rather than horizontal is difficult and can be a little frustrating. So I know it's not ideal and it would be hard to set up with the audience, but I do think you have a really cool idea there.
Yeah.
It has been something that I have wanted to do since I first started concepting this out. Like, how many years ago did I run that original like one shot based off of Yuki's one shot? I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago at this point. As soon as it happened, I was like, I have an idea. I must see it through. Oh, it's been about 2 or 3. Yeah, it's been at least that long for sure. But yeah, that is. I guess that's all I have to present for the moment.
Well, you're hitting us right at the 3-hour mark, which is usually about where we call it.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, thank you, Skelly, for showing up and for prepping all of this to talk about it with us. And also, good luck with this game moving forward. This is really cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I stream it. I am saving the VODs to throw up on a YouTube channel I'm going to be making in the near future. But for now, it will be, it is all Thursday evenings starting at sometime between 6 and 7 Eastern. So if people feel like they're free to stop by my Twitch channel.
Is there anything else that you're up to that you want to chat about before heading out?
Other than that, I've just been drawing a lot of like art fight attacks, and I recently got invited to a Minecraft roleplay SMP again. So
Hey, that's
I'm
cool.
back in the block roleplay trenches. Other than that, I mean that's really it. I also this Wednesday hanging out with cool person Saracen chat. Hopefully finishing off the off fan game. Because that game is a lot longer than the original. Like, holy shit. But it has been a wonderful time, I will say that.
Yeah. That's
Scrumply
awesome.
Cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to plug on my end.
Well, do my other co-hosts have anything they want to advertise, chat about, mention?
Nothing necessarily related to this. Aside from just, I'll probably be trying to start streaming more art streams again. Get back into the habit of it, but that's about it.
Good. You should.
And yeah, like I enjoy talking about all kinds of tabletop RPG things, coming up with like just spitballing ideas and all kinds of things. I'm a spitballer. I come up with all kinds of just random things. Feel free to like poke if you can, but like, yeah, I want to stream more. I want to jabber
There's a
more, I wanna
reason
talk
I
more.
drag Aqua and Ray into this stream every week, and it's because both of them are like, I want to stream more. I was like, okay, bet.
Yup.
Leah's like, throw down.
I want to
You
talk
are
about all kinds
streaming
of stuff.
now.
Wah!
But yeah, no, it's these little streams are fun, and even if I'm not always the most talkative, it's
Aqua, your
usually
presence is
because-
always pleasant and felt.
it's because I'm enjoying the questions that are being asked. So
Yeah.
I'll
I mean,
chime in when I can.
We can always re-up in a nice, good game of void driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be a
Always enjoyed a
good
good crew.
time to go, but I'm gonna send our lovely chatters, lovely viewers, everyone who came over from Skelly's channel, everyone who's just hanging out here, thank you for showing up. Everyone who rated from Hatling, thank you for showing up. I am gonna send y'all to Zito now, because Zito's doing some art fight stuff, and is a friend of the channel and Skelly's, so we'll send you that way.
Funny, Paulson Man, funny.
All right. I don't really do. I'm really bad at fucking raid messages. Skelly, give us one. Something Mario.
It'd be really funny. It would be funny if we did do the Mario again.
Just do that one again, then.
Yep. Do the Mario.
What is it? Do
I
the
hit him
Mario?
with
Oh,
Yeah, do the
no.
Mario.
Yes. There you go.
Do the
We hit him
Mario.
with it. We rated him at the end of like the first campaign session. We hit it with do the Mario. Do it again.
All right, do the Mario. See ya.
Bye-bye.